What's going on, everybody, man? Welcome to another edition of the NFL on ABSN. And today we are going to get into some of these storylines, man. Look, NFL love their storylines, and there's plenty of them lined up for this NFL season. You got the Cowboys, of course. We're going to get into them. We're going to get into, the Chiefs, possibly, and some other teams too. So y'all stay tuned, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. We got all the good stuff. We got trivia, we got on the money or out of pocket. So we're gonna have a lit show for you today. Y'all stay tuned, and we'll come right back after this intro. Let's do it. Yeah.
TK, the Raisin Man.
All right, man. So welcome, y'all. Welcome back to another edition of the NFL on ABSN. This is your resident morning show coming to you in the afternoon today. So little afternoon post preseason live here for you guys today. Me, NYG, Unpopular Opinion Sports. Y'all know what it is. Here with my co-host, my big bro, Big Pat Sports Talk, man. What's good with you, bro? How you feeling, man?
Man, feeling pretty good, man. Ready for this NFL season, man. We're going to be talking about the top 10 storylines going into the NFL this season, man. We got a lot of stuff to talk about with these teams and these storylines, man. I think this is going to be pretty interesting to see exactly, what these storylines are going to say about these teams going into this season. But man, action-packed show. We're going to have some trivia for you guys. Might even get a Big Pat's game plan in there just to tell you exactly what I would do with a certain team or certain player. You never know. But, man, these top 10 storylines, I think it's going to be dope, man.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the NFL is all about stories. They all about the drama, as they say.
Mm-hmm.
And we just want to touch and see what's kind of going around, in the inner workings of some of these teams outside, of course, film. We like film over here too. But for this part, and today, we just going to touch on some storylines, man, But I must say, though, if I'm ranking them, I believe we should start and take a look over there in Houston. And that's because, bro, this Houston Texans team a year ago was one of the most talked about teams out there. The Texans were Super Bowl favorites. Some people were saying they might be the favorites in the AFC over the Chiefs, over the Ravens, Bills, teams like that. CJ Stroud had an amazing, rookie season. DeMeco Ryans, an amazing first-year coach. And then he took a step back. And it got a little rough there for the Texans and CJ Stroud, man. I remember calling some of those games, Pat, last year. CJ Stroud was on his back a lot.
A whole lot.
And so, I don't know if they did him any favors, bro. I mean, they seem like they upgraded at the skill positions, but talk to me about the offensive line. And like, I kind of feel like, you know, but anyway. Point being is, the reason this is one of the top stories is because, like I said, they were talked about a lot last year, and they should be the favorites in that division. They should be the favorites in the AFC South. But are they contenders in the AFC as a team? You know, when you putting them up against teams like the Chiefs, teams like the Ravens, teams like the Buffalo Bills, can they hang with the big boys? And can CJ Stroud bounce back? You've been high on the Texans, Pat.
Yeah.
One of the teams you've been talking about a lot. CJ Stroud, like I said, had that amazing year. So I'm gonna kick it over to you, bro. Can CJ Stroud bounce back this year? Let's talk about it.
Yeah, this is what I'm going to need the Texans to do this season.
And then I want you to attack. I want you to visualize and then attack.
I want you to visualize and attack with that prolific offense that you have built around CJ Stroud. Yes, they lost Stephon Diggs, but they get back Nico Collins from injury. They sign my boy from the Jacksonville Jaguars, the slot receiver, Christian Kirk. You drafted the Wonder Twins out of Iowa State, Jaden Higgins and Jalen Noel. You still got Schultz at tight end. Like, these dudes are loaded on offense. You got Nick Chubb and Joe Mixon back there at the running back position. The only thing that I will be focused on as far as this offense will be that offensive line. I mean, you traded away your whole offensive line to the NFC East. Thanks a lot, Texans. And you gave him John Mechie. Thanks a lot, Texans. Like, you one of my favorite teams to watch, but dang, man, you have no respect for my doggone Giants over in the NFC East. You just helping out everybody but us. Hey, throw somebody over here to us. You know what I'm saying? But this Texans team going into the season, man, the thing they got going for them, like you already mentioned, bro, they're in the AFC South. Is Daniel Jones and the Colts going to compete with you? No.
Probably not.
Is Prince Charming and the Jaguars going to compete against you? No. Is a rookie quarterback in Tennessee and Cam Ward and the Tennessee Titans supposed to compete with you? No. So you pretty much got a free ride into the playoffs if you really want to keep it real. So the only thing you should be watching with the Texans is, can you compete with the Ravens? Can you compete with the Chiefs? Can you compete with the Bills? Can you compete with the Chargers and the Steelers and maybe the Bengals, maybe even the Broncos? That's a wait and see. Like, if you want to compare them to, do you think they could beat the Broncos? I don't know, because that Broncos defense is legit, and Patrick Surtain against Nico Collins, that is a wonderful matchup. That will be part of a Big Pat's game plan if that happens to come up as one of the games of the week. Nico Collins, you see right there on the screen, I think is very underrated. I think he's a top 10 receiver in this league. And it could be an unpopular opinion, but I do believe that kid is dope. But can you compete against that Broncos defense? And Bo Nix is no joke on that other side of the ball against your defense. I think your secondary is very good, and I think your front four is pretty good.
Yeah, talk about that defense though, bro, because they were one of the worst defenses in the league last year, and you have to understand that DeMeco Ryans, a defensive-minded head coach, you know, talk about the defense and can the defense bounce back? You know, because I think that had a lot to do with what went wrong with them last year.
Yeah, I think, you know, certain things can happen to the defense, and sometimes it might not be their fault. Maybe it could have been that the offense slacked off because of the injuries to Joe Mixon, the injuries to Tank Dell, the injuries to Nico Collins, the injuries to Dalton Schultz. You know, they had major injuries last year on that offense. CJ Stroud was a little shaky because his offensive line was banged up and they didn't protect him. So being on that field longer might have exposed that Texans defense last year to some things they weren't exposed in CJ Stroud's first year. You know, even Diggs with them last year got hurt. So they lost pretty much everybody last year. And I think that's a huge effect on this team. Now, just to talk about the defense, maybe the linebackers being more aware and getting to plays like they're supposed to. And what about that secondary position opposite of what's the boy that just signed the highest contract for a DB ever? Came from LSU, a monster.
Derek Stingley Jr.
Yeah, Derek Stingley Jr. Like opposite of Derek Stingley Jr., what do they have?
They got Kamari Lassiter. So they got Lassiter. They got Kamari Lassiter. Jalen Petrie in the slot.
He plays safety too, so
yeah. They got Gardner Johnson at safety, and then
he got hurt. He just got hurt for the season.
Yeah. So they that's what I'm saying. They got problems there. They got some concerns. Definitely, man. So I'm not sure if given offensively, I think they can hang. Defensively, I don't know.
Well, we'll see. That's why they're in the top 10. They come in at number 10, top 10 storylines, man. Watch out for this Texans team because I'm not saying they're not going to make the playoffs. I think they're a lock for the playoffs because of the division that they play in. But when they get into the playoffs, where they look like they belong. You see what I'm saying? Where they look like they belong when they get into the playoffs. You know, you don't want to just make the playoffs because your division is terrible. You see what I'm saying? Because then if your team is not up to par with all the other top teams, you're going to have a low pick every year because you're in the playoffs. So this team is going to have to bring it together to try to compete with some of those top teams in the AFC. And the AFC is a loaded clip out there. It's like it is loaded. They got like 12 teams that can make their case for the playoffs. You only got 7, so 5 teams are going to be looking from the outside. But, man,
right.
That's the Texans, man. That's the Texans.
Yeah, let's go over here to Dirty Birds. Go down to the ATL, man, and bro, when you put this one in the queue, in the chamber, I thought about it. I said, Falcons? But then I thought about it again. Oh, remember? They signed Kirk Cousins. He's still over there too. Wandering in the wing. So remember, that was a big time storyline last year. Them drafting Penix, Kirk Cousins there, of course, as most of us predicted. Penix ended up getting in there and starting over Kirk Cousins, and now he is the entrenched starter. But is he the answer? Is he the answer? Can this Falcons team make any noise in a division that seems like the Bucs been having it locked up for recent seasons, and it hasn't even been really, they haven't really been challenged. Can the Falcons, if it's one team in this division, I would say it would be the Falcons. I like what Carolina's doing, but they may be maybe a year or two away. But the Falcons should be there, man. Remember, they got Brian Robinson. They got
Bijan
Robinson. I get them confused. Yeah, Robinson brothers. They both running backs too. Bijan Robinson. They got the kid Kyle Pitts, and they got Drake London. So you got 3 monsters at the 3 skill positions. So and then you got Penix with the cannon. You know what I'm saying? So can they compete though? Can they compete? And is Penix the guy? Is he the guy? Simple question. Is Penix the answer? Because the answer means that you should be competing in this division. Raheem Morris, head coach. I like what he's doing down there. But talk to me about this Falcons team, and talk to me about Penix Jr. in particular, because I remember you were one of the men that said that this kid could do special things in the NFL. So go ahead, take it away, bro.
Yeah, one of the first things I want to mention with the Falcons is this.
Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs?
Is Michael Penix Jr. the guy that could get the Falcons back into the playoff push? And I think this is a hugely talented team, and I think they're a whole lot more talented with this kid on the field, man. His arm talent, able to get it to Drake London, able to get it to get him right. Maybe Kyle Pitts, turns into a better tight end with this kid on the field, because he could put the ball in locations that Kirko Chains couldn't do last year, coming off that Achilles injury. Man, I don't think he's the same quarterback, and I don't think he'll ever get back to being Kirko Chains, to be honest with you. And it's just time, man. Look at the way he zips the ball in there. Kyle Pitts for a touchdown against Washington Commanders last year. I remember that game. That was a hell of a game last year, and he's way more athletic than what people give him credit for.
Yeah.
So, is he going to be trolled a little bit? Yes. You got fans calling him Michael, taking the X out and putting the S at the end. Very disrespectful. And then when he chirps back at you, now you want to act like you're the victim. No.
But why make fun of the guy's name though? Okay. Like, be mature. Like, we got so many immature human beings out here, bro.
That's a fact. And he's gonna get those shots every time he messes something up. They're gonna call him that. And I just want him to keep his cool. Go out there and do what you do. A lot of people are gonna have concerns about his injury history. Having both knees worked on. But I think that's 3 to 4 years behind him. And I think this kid is going to be a legit star in this league, man. I'm telling you, the way he throws that ball, man, he has a special talent. He has like a Josh Allen type arm talent. Not many quarterbacks are going to have that. You see what I'm saying? Not many people are going to be able to, throw that rock like that. I mean, he throws it like a doggone closing pitcher out there, and he puts a perfect spiral on it, so it's easy to catch. And I think he can lift this offense. Then you got Bijan Robinson behind him. So the thing that the Falcons are going to have to worry about is that defense. I think they still have one of the worst defenses in the league. I mean, NYG, you could talk about it a little bit. I still think they have one of the worst defenses in the league, because I don't think they have the guys to get the pressure that they need on the quarterback. Now, they did draft 2 edge rushers, and I think they're going to develop into good players, but can they get off the field and allow Michael Penix Jr. and his offense to put up points? Because I think this offense can put up points with the best of them. If you're not careful and you allow that kid to sit in the pocket, he's going to eat you alive. So, I mean, let's talk about the defense a little bit, NYG.
Yeah, man. They do got AJ Terrell in the secondary, but it don't seem like they got much else going on there, bro. And that is my concern. D Alford, you got Jesse Bates, but again, they light linebackers. You Caden Ellis, Divine Diablo. I mean, I don't even know who some of these guys are. That's the
linebacker. The guy from the Raiders.
Ohararo. And then you got Arnold Epikiki. So they drafted Jalen Walker, and James Pierce Jr. So that should help, but those guys are rookies. So it's a concern. It's a real concern when you look at that defense. They're gonna have a problem if Bryce Young and that Panthers team takes a step on offense in their division. They're gonna have a problem because the Saints, they the Saints. We already kind of know where the Saints are headed. The Bucks, we know what the Bucks are. They're probably the favorites. They're going to be looking behind their shoulders at the Panthers, and so that's why that defense is concerning. Because the Falcons are gonna be one of those teams that are gonna have to try to go in there and outscore teams. I already know they've been built like this for decades. And that turf does help them out. They do get a lot of these speed guys, these skill guys, and it works for them. But defensively, I don't have very high expectations for this team. And I think that's something that's going to hold them back. And I think that's something that's going to hold, Michael Penix back as far as him, getting this team to the playoffs, as you mentioned earlier. But this guy, I do think he is the answer for the Falcons, but I do not believe the Falcons are a playoff team based on what I said, bro. It's the defense. I can't get jiggy with it, bro.
So basically, you saying the same thing Jim Mara was saying.
Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they have a playoff caliber defense. I do not. But I will say this: when you're playing in the NFC South, I think the Saints, they're gonna give them a battle because of the division game. But if you could beat the Saints twice, you could beat Carolina twice, and wind up, battling out, splitting with Tampa Bay, I think they do get into the playoffs in the NFC. But we'll see, man. It might only be one team coming from that division. That might be the Buccaneers. But
But yeah, man. So next up, I think we need to go over and check, because this team just made a trade, so it's relevant news right now. And a team that has been a perennial Super Bowl favorite almost year after year after year, and now people are saying it's over, they're done, they're washed, and that is the San Francisco 49ers. The San Francisco 49ers are an intriguing team this year. And the reason is because they weren't that good last year when people expect the 49ers to be good year after year after year. So I don't know, to be honest, if they're going to be good this year or not. I think they have a chance to be. But, Pat, the San Francisco 49ers, bro, they do have some culture things going on right now. Brandon Ayuk got paid. You got Debo out of there. Christian McCaffrey stays hurt. He's hurt a lot. Pat. And you know what? That's one of the key cogs to this team. So if Christian McCaffrey's hurt, you're gonna have to put the ball in this man's hands. You just gave him a biggie bag. Shout out to Wendy's.
You're definitely not saying a 4 for 4. He got a biggie bag out there.
So, what's your thoughts on whether the 49ers can't keep it together? I look at this team, bro, and they should be a decent team. They still got some pieces out there. You still got, what's my man on defense? Fred Warner. You still got, like I mentioned, Christian McCaffrey. You still got Brandon Ayuk, Juwan Jennings. You still got Kyle Shanahan. So, and you still got Nick Bosa. So again, you still got a good group. But it's like people are overlooking this team because they lost so much. And they're always hurt. Can they get by that? That's the question here. Can the 49ers survive losses? Can their coaches survive losses? Can they keep it together? It's a big ask for Kyle Shanahan, man. Give me your thoughts on it, bro.
Yeah, with the 49ers this season, man, it's going to be an interesting storyline to see if guys like Brandon Ayuk can step up and be that number one receiver clearly. Since there's no Debo Samuel out there, can Christian McCaffrey stay healthy? Can this offensive line get back to form? Man, there's a lot of things that happened to the 49ers last year, man, that were, not normally happen to the 49ers. And then they lose so many people. They lose Dre Greenlaw. They lose Hargrave. They lose Debo Samuel. They lose some offensive linemen. This team is going to be different, but you still got guys like that on the screen, and Mr. Fred Warner.
Yeah.
He ain't went nowhere. You still got Nick Bosa. He ain't went nowhere. Mm-hmm. You paid Brock Purdy. So now he's going to have to step up and be the franchise quarterback. There's no more Mr. Irrelevant no more. you're super relevant now. You're what, $255 million relevant now.
Right.
You know, you still got my tight end over there, my boy. Oh my God, George Kittle.
Yep,
You
Kittle.
know,
Yep, still got Kittle. Yeah.
and you still got some quality backups, but they're gonna need a second receiver to step up. Whether that be Juan Jennings, who's looking for a contract himself, steps up, or the boy
They
that
all
got
want
from
their money,
Florida.
Pat.
Yeah, they all want their money. But you got somebody that's a capable backup at Brian Robinson Jr., even though I think Isaac Sapolo, I think that's his, the rookie that they had, Garindo, that they had last year, that's just fast as I don't know what. So they got a 1-2-3 punch at the running back position still, and you still have that head coach over there.
Yeah.
Pedigree. So people are going to be looking for the downfall of the 49ers this year, but they may still surprise you and still be a very good team. At least a team you don't want to go and play. You know, there's a lot of things going on with this team, and you're going to be talking about the 49ers going into the season. That man on the screen, is he ready to retire? You know, still the most dominant left tackle in the game, but is he ready to retire? Will he lose a step? Will Christian McCaffrey get another injury and wind up losing a step? So it's a lot going on with this team, man. That's why I know they should be in the top 10 storylines in the NFL this year coming up. No question about it, man. And it's going to be on that man there, Christian McCaffrey and Brock Purdy. That's who you're going to be watching. Christian McCaffrey and Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy, people are going to be counting his pockets. You know, I mean, that's pretty much what he did. He waved everybody into his business, signing that big contract. You know, George Kittle, I think, is a 49er for life. I don't think he's going anywhere. Fred Warner's not going anywhere. But is Brandon Ayuk happy? You remember, they had trade rumors about him this offseason, going into this offseason.
Sure did. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They got Deebo Samuel out of there. They say, hey, look, man, you're always coming in out of shape and getting hurt, so we're going to ship you out. You know, it's a lot with this team, man. And it's not going to be easy for them like it has been in years past. They got to compete with the Cardinals. The Rams are still there. And we'll see what Sam Darnold is over there with the Seahawks. But I still think this team, man, could get in the playoffs, man. What do you think?
This one's tough, man. I feel like the 49ers should be a playoff team, but I feel like the competition is starting to catch up with them. Because like the Rams, they legit. I think Seattle's still a good team in your division. I think the Cardinals are getting better. You know, in the NFC as a whole, you got to worry about the teams in the North. You know, the Vikings, the Packers, the Lions. You got 3 teams in the NFC East that's gonna could be competing possibly. You know, the Commanders, the Eagles, maybe the Cowboys or Giants shock somebody. Then you got to worry about the South. Yeah, really just that one team we talked about. Well, you know, the Falcons or the Bucks possibly. So you got competition. Like these teams ain't just going nowhere. They're constantly getting better, and I think it's catching up to San Francisco. Their path is going to be in that division. Can they beat the Rams? And can they beat the Cardinals and the Seahawks twice? Or at least go 4-2. Maybe you sweep the Cardinals. That's going to be their path. Because I think the NFC as a whole has caught up to the 49ers. I do. The more I think about it, ain't nobody scared of this team. Like, they not the scary team that we before in years past when we used to do shows like this. We'd be like, man, 49, that's a L. You ain't about to whip your butt.
Yeah, it used to be just like this back in the day.
Prediction for the fight then.
Prediction?
Yes, prediction.
Pain.
It used to be just like that back in the day.
Yeah.
It ain't like that no more, man. People ready to hit them in the chin. So this is uncharted territory for the 49ers, but keep rocking.
That's a fact, man. But yeah, bro. We're 30 minutes in. We're gonna take a little commercial break and come back. And we got We got more storylines to get into. Like I said, we got On the Money Out of Pocket. We got some trivia for you guys later on. But if you are new here, please hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button. And please do me a favor and go check out my man Shakes over here on the Aboriginal Sports Network, of course. Shakes Montana Entertainment, SME is the name. And hey, man, he giving you that fire content, unfiltered, man. Love this brother's content, man. Glad to have him on. Go check it out. We'll be right back, man. Yeah, man. Let's get into the Chiefs, man. We still on this, man. We still on this top storylines of the 2025 NFL season. And it's like, you gotta put the Chiefs up there. You gotta put Chiefs up there, man. And the reason is because you got Travis. We're gonna get more into the Chiefs a little bit later on the Money Out of Pocket. We got some things to talk about with the Chiefs. These guys right here, they are the consistent model for the NFL right now. I know the Eagles won the Super Bowl, but let's keep it a buck. It's been the Chiefs after Chiefs after Chiefs after Chiefs consistently in the Super Bowl. So, but the demise of this squad has been out there, man. It's been people talking about the Chiefs coming back to the pack, the Chiefs missing the playoffs, the Chiefs, possibly, just not being that good, maybe not even winning their division. You got people talking about the Chargers, the Broncos. I look at a couple things here. Forget Pat Mahomes for a second. No knock to Patty Mahomes. I think he's a good quarterback. I'm talking about Andy Reid, Steve Spagnuolo. They ain't went nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
So as long as they there, I don't see how or what makes people think they just gonna come on back and be this bad team all of a sudden. So, but again, maybe I'm off base here, bro. What is it about this team that I think people want them to be bad because they tired of seeing them? But I hate to say it, they not going nowhere. You tell me, bro. What's good?
Man, I think the Chiefs are that team that you love to hate, man. They have so much success. They have the Super Bowl rings. They have the quarterback. They got the Hall of Fame coaches and Andy Reid and Steve Spags. Shout out to Spags, a former Giant. Got him a ring with the Giants and got him a couple with the Chiefs. I think this team is still that team, man. I still think the Chiefs are the Chiefs. Now, this is going to be crazy to say, but I think they had one of the most lackluster 15. I think they went 15-2 last year. Mm-hmm. And they won a lot of close games because why? Because of coaching, because of grit, because of culture, because of Steve Spagnuolo's defense stepping up when the offense was struggling, when Travis Kelce had one of his worst years to date and still got 1,000 yards almost. I think he went for 984. And that's a lackluster season. So that tells you how great of a player Kelsey is, when you can almost get 1,000 yards and they say you lost a step, man, that's pretty vicious. But they got some legal issues going on with Rice. He may be suspended towards the middle of the season. So, it's a couple of things this Chiefs team has to work out through. But the main thing they got to worry about is home, their own division. The Broncos ain't playing around.
Yeah.
The Chargers ain't playing around. They got another Super Bowl caliber coach over there, Jim Harbaugh, that loves to run the ball. He's taking the ball out of Justin Herbert's hands, and he's making them a real legit team. This is not Justin Herbert a bust. This is a real team. You got to worry about Najee Harris. You got to worry about Amarian Hampton. You know what I'm saying? Can this rush defense hold up against those guys? Is Jones still Jones? They lost a couple of pieces on defense. They lost, a couple of DBs. They lost a safety. So this Chiefs team, man, I will say this. I still think they're going to be very good. I still think they're going to be in the playoffs. I still think they're going to be in a Super Bowl hunt. This might be one of the most battle-tested seasons that they have. You may see the Chiefs lose 4 to 5 games this year. You may see that. And that's crazy to be 12-5 and be like, hey, you lost a step. That's how good the Chiefs have been, man.
Yeah.
You got to think about that. 12-5, and you say, hey, y'all ain't the same team because you lost 5 games? Because you're used to them only losing 2 to 3 games a year? But after that thumping in the Super Bowl, I know they did a lot of self-searching, a lot of soul-searching. And I think you might have an angry Chiefs team going out this season. An angry Chiefs team is nothing to be playing with. So, I don't know, NYG, man. What you think, man?
Like I said, it's overblown, bro. This whole thing is overblown with the demise of the Kansas City Chiefs. Because I'm going to be honest with you. What did they lose that's got people bothered? I mean, the Rashid Rice thing is one thing to talk about. And then we'll see how that develops. But Travis Kelce came back. They might have lost some piece on defense a little bit, but still got Chris Jones, still got George Karlaftis, cats like Nick Bolton, Leo Chanel. They still got those guys over there.
Resign Trey Smith.
You still got Isaiah Pacheco and Kareem Hunt, where Pat Mahomes can lean on that running game. And yes, the Chiefs can't run the football. What's got y'all bothered? It's just they don't like these guys because they're tired of seeing them. People want their team to be in the media. Can my team get a chance? Ravens fans probably feeling like that. Bills fans probably feeling like that. But y'all still got to beat the Chiefs.
And ain't none of them did it yet.
And ain't none of them did it yet, bro.
Until
one of them do it, bro. I don't think they're coming back to no pack. I think they staying right there where they at. And I think they still gonna be Super Bowl contenders. Now, will they get to the Super Bowl again this year? I don't know. It's hard to do it year in and year out. But you gotta put them as the favorites. I think so.
You gotta think about this, bro. They said the Chiefs ain't the same no more, but they still hold the crown in the AFC. Their crown only got took by a team in the NFC named the Philadelphia Eagles. They still whooped everybody in the AFC, man. The Ravens, the Bills, the Bengals, whoever you want to throw out there at them, they've been whooping them. And they still hold title over the AFC. They still haven't been knocked off. A lackluster season. They went 15-2 into the Super Bowl. That's how good this team is, man. And you got to respect them. So I don't know about all the Chiefs' downfall. Y'all just praying on this team's downfall, man. Don't pray on their downfall. Go out there and beat them. Because you ain't done it yet. You know what I'm saying? Talk is cheap. And they're the prime definition of it. Talk is cheap.
Talk is cheap.
Isaiah Pacheco will be back this year. Remember, he was gone for most of the year last year. They did this with people getting injured and people getting hurt. They won games by blocking field goals and crazy stuff. And they still got they're 12th man and the refs. I'm just gonna keep it real with you. Until somebody knocks them off, the refs are always gonna give the Chiefs the benefit of the doubt. So you gotta knock these dudes off to take that advantage from them, man. And guess what? Everything still's gonna go through Arrowhead. I think the best chance for you to knock off the Chiefs is hope their division steps up and punch them in the chin and say, "Hey, we're number one in the AFC West now." Then I think the reality check will hit the Chiefs. Then the self-doubt starts to creep in. Then Kelsey might retire. Or who knows? Andy Reid might retire. And if Andy Reid retires, then yeah, it's gonna be a problem. But as long as Andy Reid, Steve Spagnuolo, and Mahomes or Kelsey are there, they're always gonna be tops in the AFC, man. I'm just gonna keep it at that, man.
Mm-hmm.
What's up, Iman?
What's good, Iman Perry, man? Shout out to you, bro. Thanks for joining us here on this Sunday afternoon. But man, one of the teams chasing the Chiefs that are trying to get past that little proverbial hurdle, and that is the Baltimore Ravens. The Baltimore Ravens, talk about a team that leaves a lot to be desired. Like, man, can they get through? Can they get through? I mean, this team has had one of the best rosters in football for years on offense and defense. They play trench play like none other in the NFL. A Ravens defensive line, offensive line has been very, very good throughout Lamar Jackson's career. They can't get it done. Is it Lamar Jackson's fault? Is it John Harbaugh's fault? Is it the fact that their skill position players seem to let them down at inopportune times? So, to me, to be honest, I don't want to put it all on Lamar Jackson, but this is a quarterback league. Shout out to Miss Trina. Appreciate you tapping in. But this is a quarterback league. And, bro, Lamar Jackson is one of the top quarterbacks in the league. You expect more. You know, it's him and it's Josh Allen and it's Pat Mahomes. Maybe Joe Burrow.
You got to throw Burrow in the conversation.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll pop up here in this stream at some point. But what about this Baltimore team right here, man? This Ravens team. Can Lamar? This playoff hurdle is going to hang over this team's head. I don't think they have no regular season issues. I think they're going to do what they normally do in the regular season. Playoffs. Can they get through? We just talked about the Chiefs. Everybody talking about the Chiefs coming back to the pack. Well, this is the team that needs to push them back to the pack. You take them out. Because to me, I think the Ravens are a better team than the Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen might be a better quarterback than Lamar Jackson, but I think team-wise, it should be the Ravens, bro. The Bills got some holes on their team. The Ravens have a more complete team. We did the previews. What's the issue here, bro? Talk to me.
All right. Can I keep it a buck with you on this Ravens team, man?
Yeah. What's up, man?
I might say some things that a lot of people might not like about this Ravens team, but I'm going to let Herm Edwards kick it off for me.
The greatest thing about sports is you play to win the game. Hello? You play to win the game.
And that's what they're playing for, man. You plan to win the game over in the AFC. And there's one man I want to talk about because I think that's the only man you should be talking about, and that's Lamar Jackson. I think he's been coddled a little bit. And what I mean by that is every time this team falls short, it's always, oh man, Lamar Jackson needs help. Lamar Jackson did all he could. It ain't Lamar Jackson's fault. Oh, you just hating on Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson is great. Lamar Jackson can do this. Lamar Jackson's the best player in the NFL, but he can't get it done in the playoffs. And let's not forget, man, he has some crucial turnovers in every playoff game that they lose. Yeah, you know the tight end. What's the tight end's name? One of the
Andrews.
better. Mark Andrews. Yeah, he had a drop. Yeah, he had a fumble. Let's not forget, Lamar Jackson had an interception and a fumble too in that game. And it's time to stop coddling him, man. First, it was the offensive coordinator's fault. Then it was John Harbaugh's fault. Then it's the media's fault. Then it's his team's fault. Then it's the receiver's fault. It's always somebody's fault but him. And not saying Lamar Jackson doesn't go up there on all his, you know what, he does, because he's a true leader. He always says, man, it's on me. I should have played better. And I'm going to tell him, you're right. You should have played better. You're the most dominant quarterback in the league besides Josh Allen. And you're more dominant in some aspects than Josh Allen is, while Josh Allen is a little bit more dominant in aspects that you're not. But it's 1A, 1B in the league, man. And it's Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson with Joe Burrow a close second to those guys. You got to go out there and win, man. I don't want to hear about no receivers. You got Bateman. You got Flowers. You got the boy you just talked about at the time, Mark Andrews. You got Isaiah Likely. They just signed D-Hop. You had Odell Beckham. You got one of the best offensive lines in the game. You got King Henry in the backfield. And on top of that, one of the best defenses in the league. Why can't you get past the Chiefs? Why can't you get past some of these teams in the AFC? You got to point to leadership. You got to point to the man that said everybody says is tops in the league, and that's Lamar Jackson. I don't want to hear about it no more. And to be honest with you, Lamar Jackson, if you're listening to that, Colin, stop listening to it. Get it done.
Yeah.
What is this, year 6? Year 6 going to year 7? That window is not as wide open as it used to be.
It's starting to shut close a little bit.
Yeah.
Coach, what's good, man?
What's going on, Coach? William,
shout out to Coach Ed Sports. Coach Ed Sports now. Yeah, switched it up on us, man. Shout out to you, man. But yeah, man, I'm with you, man. But I don't even think it's all on Lamar. Somebody got to talk. Sometimes we got to talk about this coaching too. John Harbaugh. Remember, they got to a Super Bowl. You know,
who has the hardware?
John Harbaugh.
Yeah. Who built the system for Lamar Jackson so he can be Lamar Jackson? He didn't
John Harbaugh
build a system around him to make Lamar Jackson be something that he's not.
But again,
specifically built the system for Lamar Jackson.
Is it all Lamar Jackson though? Or are they lacking in some areas, particularly when it comes to those skill position players? So again, it's a lot of it is on Lamar Jackson. I understand, but I don't want to put it all on him. And I think John Harbaugh has to share some of that blame. I understand he got a Super Bowl, but how long ago was that? And at this particular time, you got one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and you can't get over the hump. So he won a Super Bowl with Flacco. Why? I don't understand. With a better quarterback, what's the issue?
So let's go through the roster. Where are they lacking at? Where's this roster lacking? Because Bateman stepped up. Bateman was one of the hottest receivers going into the playoffs last year. Every time you saw him, he was getting a touchdown. Zay Flowers ain't no slouch. Mark Andrews ain't no slouch. Isaiah Likely ain't no slouch. That's 4 weapons. You got King Henry in the backfield with a number 1 ranked offensive line.
That's why I don't make no sense, bro. That's why I'm looking at the coaching too. Because the roster is stacked. Why can't he get it done?
Is this team disciplined? Do they make mistakes as far as penalties?
At times, yes. They do. And at inopportune times. In the playoffs, they have made crucial mistakes.
But it wasn't discipline mistakes. It was just them not executing. Fumbling the ball before you dive into the end zone, Zay Flowers. Getting it knocked out by the Chiefs. You see what I'm saying? Mark Andrews not making catches and fumbling. Lamar Jackson making inopportune interceptions instead of just throwing the ball away and play another day. Lamar Jackson fumbling the ball. Are we going to blame John Harbaugh for that?
Not blaming John Harbaugh. I'm saying he shares some of the blame, and you can't just point the finger like everyone wants to do at Jackson. That's all I'm saying. He has to share some of this blame. See, people don't talk about John Harbaugh. That's why I'm on Popular Opinion Sports. Y'all hit the goddamn like button. You just kind of conscious get from me. I look at all angles.
John Harbaugh doing exactly what I said everybody does. Look.
John Harbaugh, hold up, let me finish. John Harbaugh shares some of the blame for this team, bro. They are a stat. We just looked at the roster. The excuse you can give a coach is he don't have the talent. That's the excuse the coach gets. So talk to me.
A team that does not lose by undisciplined mistakes, a team that loses because they have mental mistakes in crucial situations. I can't put that on John Harbaugh, bro. He set this man up for
mistakes on Harbaugh. I'm putting the results on Harbaugh.
That's fair. You could put the results on Harbaugh, but I'm talking about the in-game action because that's why they're losing.
That's football, bro.
So that's football, with me saying, hey, Lamar Jackson, you got to step up and play better in the playoffs. That's not me bashing the kid. That's me saying that you're the best player in the NFL. And 99% of people are going to agree with that. There's going to be a couple of people that say Josh Allen. When they said that he had lack of talent, they got him talent. When they said he had lack of weapons, they got him weapons. They kept a top 5 defense around him and a top 5 offensive line around him and gave him better running back options. Probably the best running back option of our generation, and King Henry and Derrick Henry. Shout out to Travis Henry that played with the Bills. He was nice too. But I mean, what more do you want John Harbaugh to do? Let's get that question. What do you want? What more do you want to see from John Harbaugh? Maybe that's the question I should ask.
Well, I got the same thing about Lamar Jackson. What more you want to see from Lamar Jackson? I mean, he's doing his job too.
Don't make the crucial mistakes in the playoffs.
He can't help it if since you want to point to specific things, he can't help it if goddamn Zay Flowers fumble. He can't help it if goddamn Mark Andrews can't catch football. So here's what I'm gonna do. And here's what I'm gonna say, and then I'll let you rebut, and then we can get on to the next one. But what I want, if these guys are, remember, the coaches, the general managers, they all pick the players. So if the players are the problem, you still bringing it back to them. So again, it's looking at the results on the field is what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about specific things that they're doing or not doing. I'm just saying you as the head coach of the Baltimore Ravens with one of the best rosters in football, and you considered being one of the best coaches in football, Why can't you get this team over the hump? And I think people aren't talking about that enough because they're so laser focused on Lamar Jackson because the quarterback and because what he looks like. That's my unpopular opinion on it. What do I want to see from John Harbaugh? The same thing I want to see from Lamar Jackson. Get it done. Because I don't think either one of them's doing anything wrong, but you can't sit up here and point the finger at Lamar Jackson and not say anything about his coach as if this guy is not responsible for anything. That's what I'm saying, bro. I'm saying they both should share the blame and not just everybody coming out here saying Lamar Jackson needs to get it done.
So are we saying this is 50-50, Harbaugh, Lamar Jackson? How are we putting it?
I would say, to be honest with you, it is along those lines. Because I can't, okay, if Lamar Jackson is making mistakes in crucial moments, so you want to tell me that these guys making mistakes don't have anything to do with coaching? Like, how is John Harbaugh getting them prepared that they're making mental mistakes in crucial moments? Maybe he should change his approach and do something different to get these guys focused. I don't know. That's the only thing I can point to, bro, because the talent is there. Schematically, I don't think they're doing anything wrong schematically. So I'm not going there with you.
So schematically, they're good. Talent-wise, they're good.
It's here.
Organizational-wise, they're good.
It's got to be here.
So, okay, so a head coach is supposed to get in these guys mental-wise, which I do agree to a certain extent. You're supposed to be a leader of men. A leader of men can get guys to do certain things that they normally wouldn't do because of the motivation you put into them. That is a matter. That is a fact. If you got a good head coach, you might be the lowest man on the roster, but you'll go in there and run through a wall for that coach because you believe in his vision. So basically what you're pointing it down to is the vision might not be the best from John Harbaugh, and maybe they're just going out there based off pure talent. And if you're going out there based off pure talent, yeah, you can have mental mistakes because you put so much pressure on yourself. Anxiety kicks in, and I got to make this play, and you wind up doing something. It's like, damn, what just happened? Because that's how they look. I swear to goodness, that's just how they look every playoff season. They get up, they look around like, what just happened? We are clearly better than this team. How the hell did we just lose?
Yeah.
And that is a major issue. And you've always been consistent. You always put it on organization first. I will say that. Top to bottom, that's how you are, no questions asked. But sometimes I tend to be like, yo, look, nobody's mentioning John Harbaugh when you're getting all these MVPs. Nobody mentions John Harbaugh when Lamar Jackson's getting the MVP. They say it's all Lamar Jackson.
Good point.
So if you're going to give him that much credit when he does good, you got to give him a little bit of vitriol when they fall short in the playoffs, and he's part of it. You know, I'm going to let Al Pacino talk to you.
Your goddamn quarterback! It's the top spot, kid. It's the guy takes the fall. It's the guy everybody's looking at first, the leader of a team.
That applies to the great Lamar Jackson as well. As great as he is, I think he's the top player in the NFL, and I don't think it's close. But Josh Allen is real. He's right there, but it's still not close.
Look at Josh Allen for a second then, though.
Same thing with him. I would say the same thing about him. I promise you.
Josh Allen does get that blame, but ain't they talking about getting rid of Sean McDermott? You see, so
You want to know why, though?
He's getting blamed for the situation over there in Buffalo. But
You
John
want to know why,
Harbaugh
though?
just thought Lamar Jackson.
You want to know why? Because John Harbaugh, he ain't built a team around Josh Allen like John Harbaugh has built a team around Lamar Jackson. You see what I'm saying?
But McDermott been there.
But that team is not on par as far as Ravens when you look at top to bottom. I think Josh Allen makes up for a lot of those dudes' mistakes over there. I promise you he does.
We on the same page, but you got to look at the results, though. They go on the same places. So, again, if the Ravens got the better team, you know, to me, Sean McDermott just having Josh Allen and not much else around him is actually overperforming.
If you can say that, if you want to put it
If
that
you're
way.
Looking at results.
If you want to put it that way, but I know that without Josh Allen, he goes nowhere. John Harbaugh has won without Lamar Jackson. That's a fact.
Yeah. In the past.
Yeah, in the past, he won with Joe Flacco in the past. And it is a long pass to go, but he still did it. What was Sean McDermott before Josh Allen?
But, bro, we talking about right now, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can't just go back to the Super Bowl that John Harbaugh won, you know, and saying that, oh, he's supposed to get this lifelong clout because he won a Super Bowl for the Ravens. You know, Ravens got more than one Super Bowl. He ain't only won one. So, you know,
Brian Billick got one.
Brian Billick got one, right, in 2000. Beat up on our team, the Giants. So he don't get no lifelong, in my unpopular opinion, he don't get no lifelong. Same thing they putting the pressure on with Mike Tomlin in Pittsburgh. We can get to them. But you don't get no lifelong pass, bro. You're not getting it done.
So you're saying John Harbaugh gets caught up too. I got you. To
a degree, he's not getting. I don't think he gets as much heat as some of these other coaches, like a Mike Tomlin, like a Sean McDermott. You know, they've been successful too, though. But again, maybe not. Maybe, you know, you want to go back to years past and point to this Super Bowl that they got. That's fine.
I'll give you Mike Tomlin.
Tom Coughlin got ran out of New York, and he won them 2 goddamn Super Bowls.
Well, you know, New York is different.
I'm saying,
New York is crazy.
My point is, you don't get a lifelong credit based on Super Bowls. You want another example? McCarthy in Green Bay. You see what I'm saying? Super Bowl winning head coach. So again, they was underperforming. They had Aaron Rodgers, great player, like he got, but they was going to the playoffs like he was. But guess what? It's the coach, not the quarterback. That's how Green Bay looked at it.
Oh, and that's how the Ravens will eventually look at it. You're not getting rid of Lamar Jackson. John Harbaugh is gone way before Lamar Jackson is gone. Let's keep it a buck. If it comes down to that, you know who's gone. Like, there's no question about it. But it's just, there's no right or wrong here. Let's just keep it like that. There's no right or wrong. Do they both need blame? Yes. But I think Lamar Jackson should take the brunt of the blame because he gets the brunt of the congratulations when they go out there and win and they do their things. When he gets his MVPs, John Harbaugh is nowhere near mentioned. Back in the past, they were saying he was doing it in spite of John Harbaugh. So we'll see with this Ravens team, man. This team here, man, Super Bowl or bust. That's all I'm going to say.
Super Bowl or bust. All right, man. We're going to get into the top 5 here coming up. But before we do so, man, want to play give us another little quick little break here. If you are a New York fan, New York sports fan, if you are just a sports fan in general, man, check out Heart of the City, man. We do all kind of good stuff over there. We talking about the Knicks, the Nets, the Mets, Yankees, Rangers, all New York sports team. We got Coach's Corner He breaks down the WNBA and, of course, college football. We got our culture segment, man. We be talking about all kind of foods and games and movies and different things like that. So go check out Heart of the City Staple Podcast on the Aboriginal Sports Network. And you can catch them Wednesday nights right here on the ABSN.
Ricey K, the Raisin Man.
Let's get into we're gonna keep this thing rolling, man. Pat, man, you ready to cue up the top 5, bro?
Yes, sir.
Let's get it to the top 5, man. Go ahead and cue it up. We're gonna start with number 5.
Number 5.
All right, number 5, man. The Pittsburgh Steelers. Yeah, bro. This one gonna be spicy. You got Aaron Rodgers. You got DK Metcalf. You got TJ Watt. Mike Tomlin. A lot of personalities over there. Boy, oh boy. And this guy right here, Aaron Rodgers. He needs to show up and show out. Because apparently this is his last year. The farewell tour for Aaron Rodgers. But it's pressure on the Pittsburgh Steelers as well. Because Mike T is starting to get a little bit of heat. As I'm teased earlier, you know, Mike Tomlin been getting some heat. And he has, you know, of course, won the Steelers a Super Bowl. But that was years ago. And they getting itchy over there in Pittsburgh. So they bring in Aaron Rodgers. They pass on the quarterback in the draft. Man, better hope Jackson Dart don't turn out to be some Pittsburgh. Y'all gonna look kind of silly there. New York Giants got a quarterback. You guys didn't. But this is the stuff that I'm talking about. Aaron Rodgers being able to be Aaron Rodgers. You know, they signed him late. They had to twist and turn to get him in there. And now, you know, he's coming in supposedly focused and ready to get going, ready to take the Steelers to the promised land. Now, Mike Tomlin, he gets them in the playoffs damn near every year, but for some reason, this feels a little bit different. Aaron Rodgers, Mike Tomlin, traded for DK Metcalf. What do you expect to see out of the Pittsburgh Steelers in Aaron Rodgers' farewell season, man? Drama going on in there. How you expect this to turn out? I don't know, man. It might implode, bro. It's a tough division.
Yeah, this Steelers team, they are on top watch, man, because this can implode. it can implode. You know, good thing they did get TJ Watt signed. They got that handled. They traded Mika Fitzpatrick, who's a captain on that team, but they did bring over Jalen Ramsey. You got the coach killer, man. I'm just gonna call him that, and Aaron Rodgers, man. I think he's the coach killer and the culture killer. You know? And if this guy starts to go out there and wants to do his own thing, how is that going to fly with Mike Tomlin?
Right.
Because Mike Tomlin is not a dude you play with like that. And it could it be a Tom Coughlin situation with Odell Beckham? Remember, Tom Coughlin was a serious coach. And that would never happen with your player going out there doing what OBJ did against that Panthers team. And guess what? They told Tom Coughlin to back off. You're not suspending our top money maker. So if it comes to a point like that with Rodgers and Mike Tomlin, who wins? Is this organization willing to back Mike Tomlin and say, hey, if he wants to bench Aaron Rodgers, he benches Aaron Rodgers? Like they were when he wanted to bench Justin Fields and they were winning, and bring in Russell Wilson? What if he goes out there and start calling his own stuff and that stuff is not working and he starts complaining and putting people underneath the bus? That don't work in Pittsburgh. You don't put people underneath the bus in Pittsburgh. They didn't even do that to George Pickens, and he was wilding out. But Aaron Rodgers was doing it in a heartbeat. Oh, I threw the ball and he just didn't catch it, even though that pass you threw to him was uncatchable.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like this can be a vicious situation, or is Mike Tomlin just that good of a leader of men that he can even get Aaron Rodgers to bow down to the culture in Pittsburgh? Now that's a leader of men. If you could get Aaron Rodgers to bow down to your culture, that's a bad dude. I'm just gonna be honest with you. You the man. Like you get that dude coming from his dungeon on whatever binges he be on. And you tell him to get your act together, and he says yes, sir. Yeah, it's one of his little dark trips, and he gets his act together and say yes, sir. Okay, whatever you need, Mr. Tomlin. Oh, you a bad dude. So we gonna see TJ Watt, Craig Hayward. Are those guys gonna accept that? That's a real culture over there. We talk about culture a lot. That's a real culture. It don't matter who they put in that quarterback. You know what the expectations are. You know what the goal is. So we gonna see with this team, man. But that Mike Tomlin, Aaron Rodgers situation, that could be real combustible, man. And who they gonna choose? If Aaron Rodgers does what Aaron Rodgers does.
I don't see how you can really, if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers, I don't see how you can let Aaron Rodgers ruin your culture. Because he can do it. He can do it. You know, I think he was bad for Green Bay in the later part of his years out there. You know, of course, he went over to the Jets and messed them up. You know, the Jets didn't have no great coach anyway, but he damn sure didn't go over there and fix nothing. He actually made it worse. So, Pittsburgh's a strong team, though. You know, it's almost like him going to play with a Bill Belichick type of coach. You know, a guy like an Andy Reid. You know, some of these coaches, they just got the cachet, you know, the pedigree, the allure, so to speak. But Aaron Rodgers is different, though. And to me, this his last year. One or two things can happen. He could either really put it all on the table and say, yo, I'm going to do everything I can for Pittsburgh, try to get them a chip. I'm going to put it all out there. I'm not going to be selfish. You know, I'm just going to lay it out there for my last season. Or he can be in fuck it mode and be like, I'm about to get out of here anyway. let me preserve my body. You know how they do. Some of these athletes, you about to retire. Why you want to go out there and take a whole bunch of hits? No. So he could be one of those guys that says, no, let me preserve my body. And you see him not really giving 100% effort all of the time. That's kind of how I'm seeing it, Pat, though. What about you, though, bro?
That's the way it's supposed to be. When you're a quarterback, a veteran quarterback that's been around, you know, a couple of teams the past couple of years, you're on your last leg. That's how it should be. But we're talking about Aaron Rodgers, man, one of the biggest egos to touch an NFL football field. And in some ways, rightfully so, because I think he's one of the most talented quarterbacks you have ever seen on a football field. One of the most talented. But it's like you said earlier, it's the mental with him. Sometimes he could be too full of himself. Sometimes he could be that guy that doesn't want to take the blame when he should take the blame. It's his leadership capabilities with him. You know what I'm saying? Just because you're that talented don't mean you can't make a mistake. And sometimes he gets into that mode where nothing I do is a mistake. Whatever I do, you're supposed to make it happen because I make it happen. And is that going to fly in Pittsburgh? I don't think it's going to do it. But on the other hand, Mike Tomlin is in turmoil with Pittsburgh fans because a lot of people want him out of there. Even though he's done so much for that organization, a lot of people want him out of there. So Aaron Rodgers is the type of guy that try to take advantage of that. You see what I'm saying? So that whole Aaron Rodgers, Mike Tomlin dynamic, man, that's a storyline to watch to see if that can work. And if it works, kudos to Mike Tomlin. He is that dude. If you could get Aaron Rodgers to form and get in line, you are that dude. Your culture is that strong. Your leadership capabilities are that strong to get a dude that has that big of an ego to say, you know what? I'll check my ego out the door and I'll do this for the team because your vision is something I believe in. That would be super dope. So this could be super dope or it could be super dope, like in your veins dope.
Right.
See what I'm saying? So we'll see, man. But yeah, this is definitely top 5. This is going to be must-see TV.
Yeah,
There's
man.
a lot of jobs on the line.
For sure, man. Speaking of jobs, somebody got a new job in Chicago, your hometown, a very important job. And that is the job of Ben Johnson. And Ben Johnson's job is to fix Caleb Williams or develop Caleb Williams, or maybe you want to say have him fulfill his full potential. Caleb Williams, man, we've talked about Caleb Williams a lot here over here at the Aboriginal Sports Network. It may sound like bashing, but it's just being honest. I think the kid is a talented quarterback. I think it's something, I'm not even gonna say mental. I think it's inside, bro.
Yeah, and that's why this story is number 4.
Number 4.
Yeah. To be honest with you, bro, Caleb Williams, number 1 pick, the pressure should be there. Pressure be on Ben Johnson too. But the real pressure is on, you know who, Ryan Poles. Because you got him and him. You hired Ben Johnson. You drafted Caleb Williams. I think Ryan Poles has done a phenomenal job with the roster.
That's a fact.
But the NFL ain't fair. And if these guys don't get it done or show some type of improvement this year, the only one I could see going out of the trio is Ryan Poles, because you just hired Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams. You took him first overall with the number 1 pick. You want to give that guy time to develop. This is a big year for Chicago. The Bears. And a lot of people have this Bears team as one of the top, a team that's supposed to be on a sleeper, on the come up. They saying they could be better than the Vikings in their division. So, maybe better than the Packers. So, let's talk about this pairing right here, because it's an interesting pairing. Because Caleb Williams seems to be a little bit of an emotional guy, wears his heart on the sleeve. Ben Johnson, coming from Detroit, with that offense and what he did with Jared Goff, how do you see these two, or do you see these two as a good match, a good pairing? Do you think it's going to work for Chicago? You from Chicago, so I know the Bears ain't your team, but talk to me about Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson, man, and do you think it could work in Chicago? I have my doubts. I'm skeptical, but I don't know.
Yeah. It's not cool in Chicago streets for Caleb Williams right now, man. A lot of Bears fans are like really iffy on this guy. And they have reasons to be. Even though this is his second year, man, I just don't think this guy is a leader of men. He is talented, but he's not that talented to where he can go and have bad attitudes. He can show bad body language. He can, really call out the Bears and really come out and really say, I didn't want the Bears to draft me. That was a real thing. He really said that. And I don't know, man. They put talent around this kid. They had talent around him last year. The offensive line wasn't as bad as they put him out to be last year. But guess what? They revamped the whole offensive line. They got some damn good offensive linemen out there. And they've shown it. They've given them pockets and everything. Can this guy go out there and be a winner? Or will Bears fans be saying this?
Cannot play with him. Cannot win with him. Cannot coach with him. Can't do it.
You got to think, man. That kid got some talent out there. You got Luther Burden, Colston Loveland as rookies coming in, Cole Kmet, DJ Moore, Roma Dunze. A revamped offensive line, Swift, a couple of running backs back there, a very formidable defense. They've given this guy the tools, man. They've given this guy the tools. And I hate it for him, but I think Ryan Poles might get the axe too if this kid doesn't work out. Yeah. Rarely ever does a GM get a number one pick at the quarterback position and he fails and he sticks around, no matter what he has done. And I think that would be kind of messed up for Ryan Poles because I think he's done everything that he was supposed to do. Except for take Jaden Daniels number one, which I would have, but he was the consensus number one pick,
Yeah.
So, yeah, this storyline here, this is going to be a very good storyline to watch, man, because this Caleb Williams thing is very, very, very combustible. And he could take away a lot of people's jobs along with him. I'm just going to be honest with you. Because you really can't do too much more, man. You can't do too much more around this kid and what you have done. Like, this is it. Like, you're going to show that you have it or you don't. And it's very early in his career. I get it. But it's just something about this kid, man. He's going to have to show it now or he may never show it. Because of his characteristics, man, it's just weird. It's just weird, man. It's just a weird situation. But hopefully they have it fixed. And, they succeed, man. They can get back into the playoffs. But I don't see it right now. And if it doesn't happen, I'm sorry. They will get rid of Ryan Poles before Caleb Williams. I promise you that. I promise.
Yeah, bro. I'm totally with you on that. I think that's where it's heading. That's where it's heading. I think, yeah. I don't think Ryan Poles gonna make it. If this team doesn't if they don't show something, you know, if they don't show something, because you got a lot of people thinking this team could be in contention for a playoff spot. I don't know. Don't really think that you're better than 3 teams in your division. I just don't see it. But you got a rookie head coach, second-year quarterback. People in Chicago want to see some improvement, but what does that improvement look like? What does that improvement look like? You know, Caleb Williams, I mean, what can you say about him? You know, what can you say about Caleb Williams? Because he is supposed to be a generational quarterback, is what people were trying to make him out to be. You know what I mean, Pat? Like a generational quarterback. So when we keep talking about these generational quarterbacks, I want to now look. He threw for 3,500 yards last year, 20 touchdowns, 6 picks.
It's not bad.
Completion. So that's what I'm trying to say. Like, I want to set expectations correctly. What does that improvement look like? Now, the Bears as a team were 5-12 next year. So what does Chicago fans expect to get out of this guy? What do you want?
A 4,000 yard season?
4,000 yards, 30 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, something like that? That what you're looking for? I'm not saying it's fair or unfair. I'm just asking, like, what do they expect to see? Because they ain't have a horrible season. Statistically.
Yeah. That's why I say stats don't tell you the whole story, man. Stats don't never tell you the whole story. Go look at the film. A lot of those yards came in garbage time and stuff like that. When they played real teams, they didn't beat not one of those real teams. Remember, all their wins came against that fluff schedule in the very beginning of the season, and the defense got them 2 of them.
Right.
The Titans literally gave you the game.
Ain't beat nada. Yo, man, we're going to get into the top 3 a little bit later. But right now, I'm going to play another commercial, and then we're going to get into On the Money, Out of Pocket. Because the top 3 going to be, impactful. We're going to talk about these teams. They're going to be talked about all year long. Trust me.
That's a fact.
But before we do that, we're going to play a commercial. Then we're going to come back with On the Money or Out of Pocket. Yeah, man. Y'all know how we do, man. They be out here getting out of pocket like a mofo. But fantasy, it's fantasy time. I got one of my fantasy drafts at 7 o'clock tonight. Wish me luck, y'all. Trying to get another belt. Y'all see it? But if you want the scoop on all your fantasy information, go check out Ghost Dog and Mrs. Hangover with Fantasy Foreplay. Of course, Ghost will be on the show giving fantasy updates throughout the regular season. So we look forward to having him on the show. But you can also check out him and his wonderful lady, Miss Hangover, over there right here on the Aboriginal Sports Network, and of course over there on Ghost Dog's YouTube channel, Fantasy Foreplay. Man, this one is dope, y'all. Check it out.
Welcome to Fantasy Foreplay, a start of the show. Where your draft begins and your knowledge will grow. His picks and her flex, we got you back for show. From quarterback to sequel, that's where we explode. All love, no lust, we the ones you can trust. Lock in your options, you know it's a must. With this week's fantasy will help you adjust. Boom, up a bus, let's get ready to rush. Draft the right, don't miss the call. In the game, we got it all. I hope you enjoy.
All right, man. Yeah, we're gonna get into on the money or out of pocket now. Y'all know how we do with this one here, man. It's about to be lit, man. So, but before I do so, where is that little thing? I can't never find that. Oh, there should be a. There we go.
Out of pocket for that shit. Way out of pocket.
All right. Fines margin. NFL orders referees to enforce strict rule. The gun salute. So you remember Darius Slayton getting it. Pat Mahomes been using it. The NFL said no. You can't celebrate like you want to. And my point of emphasis here is the NFL out of pocket with all these fucking rules? With all the buttoning up of these players where they can't celebrate, they can't do this, they can't do that, can't say this, can't say that. I mean, goddamn, I don't see them doing that in the NBA, MLB, NFL. It's like they don't like these guys to be themselves. Now, they point a finger at the Chiefs. I'm not giving the Chiefs no pass for anything because they get the most help from the referees.
That's a fact.
So
it ain't close.
This article is out of pocket for making it about the Chiefs. But my point is it on the money or out of pocket, the NFL with the rules about players' celebration?
I think they're out of pocket with like trying to limit celebrations as far as these players, man. They go out there and they risk their bodies, their lives every time they go out there on the field. And yes, they do risk their lives because if you get hit the wrong way, you can lose your life out there on the football field. So don't be like, oh, you act like they're going to war. No, if you get hit by one of those dudes, you'll see. It's like a car crash every time. The only thing that's not out of pocket is the blatant gun celebrations. The first down, I'm cool with. But don't go in the end zone and do a blatant gun celebration. You know what I'm saying? You could be more creative than that. You know, I am with that. Like the actual taking to just shooting at it. Come on, man. Like y'all ain't gangsters like that. Y'all not going out there pulling triggers on nobody. So you don't have to do a blatant gun, but just the first down signal and doing this, or when they was doing this, that's cool, man. But as long as you ain't doing no blatant disrespectful stuff about shooting guns at people and everything, don't be a John Morant. You know, that's cool to me. But yeah, they are out of pocket trying to settle people's celebrations and stuff all the time. Let those guys celebrate, man.
Yeah, so they saying anything like a throat slash, sexual gestures, shooting a gun, brandishing a gun, and maybe it does come from a little bit of the Morant thing, taking it back to the NBA. But like Ja Morant had actual pistols in his hand on the like, this ain't that, bro. Like,
yeah,
he's just doing the motion, like.
Yeah, but you don't have to do the motion at somebody and start clicking like you clicking a gun at them. That's kind of ridiculous. Like, what are you saying? Like, what are you portraying?
I guess. I think it's out of pocket personally, but that's me. I think the guys that do that, they ain't the real shooters. It's the guys that ain't doing it. It's out there bucking.
Yeah, that's true.
They just have fun. But anyway, nevertheless, let's move on. Next up, want to throw this one on here, man, because Dov Hillman or Kleeman, he be killing me. Yeah. He be killing me. He be killing me with these this stuff. So he will be making frequent appearances on Only Money Out of Pocket because he always coming up with some dumbass shit. What? Okay, Pat. This list here, bro. This list here. Tom Brady's the GOAT. I have a problem with that off rip. Me personally. Then he says legendary. Peyton Manning, Joe Montana, Aaron Rodgers. What the fuck did excuse my language, but what in the hell did Aaron Rodgers do to get up that high on the list? Legendary. What he legendary for? Ruining football teams? Messing up coaching? What he legendary for? Joe Montana, Peyton Manning, ain't got no problem with that. Then it goes to all-time greats. Johnny Unitas, Drew Brees, Brett Favre, Dan Marino, Pat Mahomes. Over John Elway, Steve Young, Terry Bradshaw, all got more Super Bowls. All of them.
Yo.
So again, talk to me about what's going on here. He has the top 20, legendary all-time greats. And then this is the top 20 all-time. Brett Starr, Eli Manning, Phil Roger Staubach, Kurt Warner, Dan Fouts. And then great players: Russell Wilson, Matt Stafford, Lamar Jackson, Troy Aikman, Jim Kelly, Warren Moon, Joe Namath. Is this list on the Money Out of Pocket? Do you have any issues with it? And if so, what are the issues? I already pointed out some of my issues, but there's a lot more to go around. Talk to me. I'm gonna let you get in there. What's up with your man Dom, yo?
I got an issue with the GOAT. I'm taking Tom Brady down and putting Joe Montana there. I'm switching those two. I'm definitely taking Aaron Rodgers out of legendary since he only had that. Like, Aaron Rodgers is not better than Dan Marino. It's not better than Patrick Mahomes. I don't even think he's better than Brett Favre. I put him on the same grade as Drew Brees. I actually got John Elway ahead of him, to be honest with you. And damn, great players, man. You could take Troy Aikman out of there, even though he got 3 Super Bowls, but that was because of that team, bro. Like, and Jim Kelly's better than a lot of those people he got on there too. Like, how the hell is Dan Fouts above Jim Kelly? How is Dan Fouts above Warren Moon? And Lamar Jackson nowhere near done playing yet. Matthew Stafford? Ooh. And he got Fran Tarkenton up there. He got Fran Tarkenton up there kind of high. And to be honest with you, I'm putting Steve Young ahead of a couple of people he got up there too.
Look,
Phillip Rivers
and Dan Marino put up numbers, but they're under the franchise hero category, in my opinion. Because think about this, bro. John Elway, Steve Young, they elevated. They went to the Super Bowls, man, won Super Bowl. Terry Bradshaw got, what, 4? Man, but what I don't understand is how they got Bradshaw and Ben Roethlisberger in there as franchise heroes.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
You can only have one hero for your franchise.
Hero. Yeah.
What the hell are you doing, dog? Out of pocket, man. He out of pocket.
That's out
again.
of pocket.
He's a
Way out of
habitual out of pocket offender here on this show. Because that right there discredits this list. Just that alone. Let's
yeah, this is out of pocket. Man.
This
Way out of
guy,
pocket,
bro. All right, man. Moving on. Anthony Richardson's agent is pissed off at the coach. Anthony Richardson's agent says he got trust issues with the Colts. Trust issues with the franchise, trust issues with how they handling things over there in Indianapolis. I mean, talk to me about this one, bro. Because AR-15, Anthony Richardson, whatever you want to call him, he was not named a starter. He obviously number one overall, well, number one pick by the Colts. They got expectations for Anthony Richardson, but things have not worked out so far, and I think they really ticked off that Daniel Jones got the nod as the starter over Anthony Richardson. So now they lashing out, saying, we don't trust y'all. We don't trust y'all. Agent saying that, coming out and saying that. Is this on the money or out of pocket for the agent to come out there and talk like this, given the fact that Anthony Richardson ain't really helped himself?
That's a fact.
Boy can't hit the barn side of the barn. I tell you, some of these quarterbacks, him, Justin Fields, completion percentage is a motherfucker. You in the 40s, 30s, it's hard to defend, bro. I get it. At dynamic quarterback, dual threat, but you gotta be able to hit a receiver in stride. But should they have came out, or should they just not really said anything and just kind of let this thing play out? Because now I see seems like some friction here. Talk to me.
Yeah.
On the money out of pocket.
I think he's out of pocket because you're putting your client at risk. You're putting your client at risk of being a distraction to the team and being a distraction to the shield. You got to move on with the decision to put Daniel Jones at quarterback. You got to think Anthony Richardson did nothing to show that any decision that was made at the quarterback position was the wrong decision with either quarterback. You see what I'm saying? And maybe you take this as a learning moment, sit down, learn, and get ready to go play, because Daniel Jones, his play is going to allow you to get back in there and play sooner or later. Let's just keep it a buck. I don't see Daniel Jones tearing it up out there with the coach. He's still skittish in the pocket. He's still slow on some decisions, and he still throws with no anticipation. So you should know that, hey, once Daniel Jones shows who Daniel Jones is, you're gonna be able to get in there and do your thing. Take it as a learning move and go in there and just win. But yeah, that agent is out of pocket. If that agent did that without Richardson's knowledge, he's way out of pocket for that, because now you're going into his pockets.
You're right.
Not a lot of teams ain't gonna want to sign nobody that's complaining and shit. You know, so he's out of pocket. Like Stu said, way out of pocket.
Yeah, AR-15, man. According to Warren Sharp, Richardson's ranks in accuracy.
Dead last.
55 QBs have 175 attempts the last 2 years. Richardson's ranks 55 out of 55 in accuracy and completion rate, and in touchdown. Well, 50 out of 55. He ranked up a little bit in touchdown interception ratio. I ain't no big stat guy, but those are three main stats, like, that you shouldn't be last in, bro. Shut your mouth. Be honest with you. You ain't got nothing to bring to the table to say that you are better than Daniel Jones because Daniel
Right.
Jones is a part of that list.
Right.
You're behind him, bro, whether you like it or not.
And he's low on that list, and he's ahead of you.
Ahead of you.
That's telling you something.
Right. Coach got problems, bro. Let's keep it pushing. Okay, man. Here's one man that apparently got out of hand and apparently has resulted in Shiloh Sanders being cut. News came out today as we were preparing for this show. Being released from the Bucks, DB Shiloh Sanders. Of course, these Sanders gonna be on these a lot. And it's because they get a lot of attention. And he brought the attention to himself with fight. So he was ejected for throwing a punch. And he was ejected off the Bucks roster the fall. So but it is this out of pocket? Because it seems like I don't know, wasn't really watching Shiloh a lot in preseason, but it kind of seems like him being cut maybe have been a result of this incident, which is why I put this on here. So is this on the money or out of pocket? Bucks cutting Shiloh Sanders after him being ejected for throwing a punch at Bills tight end Zach Davidson. Even though you was like Davidson kind of started it or whatever, but still, what's your thoughts, man? On the money, out of pocket, man. Letting Shiloh go.
Letting Shiloh go. I mean, if it was based off this, it's out of pocket. But if it was just based off performances on the money, if he didn't perform well enough to make the squad at the safety position, he just didn't perform well enough. But what is out of pocket is him being ejected in that game. If you saw what happened during that game, it was way after the whistle, and this dude is literally hitting him in the face mask, pulling his face mask, doing all extra type stuff. Like 5 to 10 seconds after the play. That's way out of pocket. He should have got punched in his face. I've seen dudes that don't get ejected for doing a whole lot more than what Shiloh did. He just threw a jab back. Like, man, dude, get off me. The play is over. What are you doing?
Right.
This is a dude just trying to make his name off of Sanders. And it's out of pocket. And those dudes, those Sanders kids are going to have to learn, bro. You're a target. You're a target. And people are going to want to make their name off of you, whether it's getting a good block on you or, you know, giving you an extra shove after the play or slamming you down hard at the quarterback position for Shador. They're going to try to make their name off of you, bro, because that's the energy that was put out there about your family going into your careers in the NFL. They believe you're there for entertainment purposes only. And, you know, people buy into that. You know, people follow what's going on in the world. And so that's what's going to happen. So you're going to have to take the good with the bad as these Sanders kids. Hopefully he does get another shot. Hopefully he gets picked up off waivers and he could go to a team and perform. But it's out of pocket on what number 84 did on the Bills, but can't say out of pocket on the Buccaneers that they released him based on performance and not of this certain situation. I can't believe this situation here will get you put off the team. They just think you weren't good enough to make the team. So
not good enough to make the team. It's going to be interesting to see what the Bucks final roster looks like. But I think this one here, them cutting him is out of pocket because I just think it's something following these kids, and I think a lot of teams just don't want the type of distraction. But maybe this opens this up for Shiloh to possibly join his brother, whether that be in Cleveland or somewhere else. So, but I do think it's out of pocket. You ain't have to cut the kid for this. I know that. That's why. you can talk to be crazy like you want to, but I know how these teams be thinking. They just don't want the type of distraction, which is unfortunate, man, because the kids didn't do anything, man. They're just trying to play football. But I'm going out of pocket on this one too, bro. All right. Last one here. Ryan Clark. Yeah, I thought this was Ryan Clark is an outspoken person, though, so I respect Ryan Clark. You know what I'm saying? Very outspoken person, but I don't know. Y'all tell me about this one. It's on the money out of pocket. So ESPN analyst Ryan Clark sparked controversy by comparing Joe Flacco's NFL comeback to the resurrection of Jesus Christ during Monday Night Countdown. Clark's dramatic analogy, calling it the greatest resurrection since Jesus the Christ, ignited social media with jokes, memes, and criticism. So, jokes, memes, and the criticism stops here. This is why we do this. Clark comparing Joe Flacco's return to Cleveland to Jesus. On the money out of pocket.
I just really don't think it matters. I think it is an incredible feat. Joe Flacco back in the game. Joe Flacco was done. It's like a year or two ago, man. Yo, Joe Flacco out there doing his thing, man. He said that we was in Jersey with the coach, man. Joe Flacco out there, he don't care. He throw that ball up and he get stats. Joe, shout out to old Joe, man. He just keeps rolling. Old man.
Joe Christ is what I'm going to call him. Joe Christ.
That's what I'm going to call him the rest of the season. Joe Christ. Go out there and get him, Joe. Go out there and get him, man. Do your thing, Joe.
My man said it's like Jesus coming back. Oh, dog. I ain't know Joe Flacco was like that, son.
Man, Joe Flacco out there getting it.
Yo. This shit is out of pocket. I'm sorry, Ryan. Man, like Jesus coming. Is he that good, Ryan? Like,
man, he ain't nowhere near.
Is it really like that? Like, God, dog.
You make it seem like he won 2 Super Bowls or something.
Man, yo, I know for a fact that Baltimore Ravens Super Bowl they won wasn't because of Joe Flacco. But
yeah, they got lucky a couple times in that run.
That defense was, man. Ed Reed, Ray Lewis, man. Come on, bro. It was balling, man. It was right at their end of their run or whatever. But yeah, man, this one out of pocket, man. I'm sorry. We not doing that over here. It ain't even a Jesus thing. It's the fact that you boosting up Joe Flacco. Bye. I'm done with this, man. I'm done with this, man. Man, bro. We're gonna get back into our. Well, we're gonna come back here with the top 3. We're gonna come back here with the top 3 storylines of the NFL 2025 season. Going to the 2025 season, man. If football is almost back, y'all can't wait. It's starting to get like football weather out here too. A little chilly. You know, the weather's kind of calming down a little bit. Was in the 90s. Now it's in the 80s, 70s. What's football weather, man? It is football time, bro. Now, again, if you need anything done this season to make your live streams dope, your live streams hot, like hot fire, man, hit up KMP Productions. They do all this for us. All the beats, on the money, out of pocket, New York Giants, NFL trivia, New York Giants content, NBA content, you know, put together classes for you. Got different things like thumbnails, graphics, backgrounds, whole nine. Hit them up. If you need some production work or some graphic work, man, KMP Productions, man, I stand by it. And you will too, man. You just got to give them a chance, man. So we're going to hit this, man, and be right back here, man, after these messages.
You've got ideas, but it's time to make them unforgettable? KMP Productions brings your vision to life with pro-level video editing, eye-catching thumbnails, custom logos, and branded backgrounds, all done virtually. Hosted a live stream, we handle the production in StreamYard, from smooth overlays to polished graphics. And if you're ready to level up, our 8-week content creator class gives you the skills, strategies, and confidence to grow fast. KMP Productions, virtual, professional, unforgettable. Book your virtual services today at knpproductions.com.
All right, man. We back, man. We getting back into it, y'all. Now we into our top 3 storylines of the 2025 NFL season. And normal seasons, the Cleveland Browns would not be one of the top storylines going into this season. But right now, I got them at number 3, bro, because it's getting crazy over there. You got Shedeur Sanders and Dylan Gabriel, the aforementioned Joe Christ getting the start over there.
Yeah.
And you got Kenny Pickett. Oh, by the way, you got Deshaun Watson over there in the background like Homer Simpson in the trees.
$230 million guaranteed, and this is why the Cleveland Browns come in at number 3.
Number 3.
Yeah. Quarterback wars. The quarterback wars. Like I said, you got Gabriel, you got Sanders, you got Flacco, you got let me get them all right. You got Gabriel, Sanders, you got Flacco, you got Kenny Pickett, you got Deshaun Watson, you got Tyler Huntley. 6.
And you have doubts about all 6. Only in Cleveland, man. Cleveland rocks.
Yo, the quarterback wars, man. Who comes out on top, man? Let's talk about that, man. Who comes out on top of these quarterback wars, man? Getting interesting over there. Gave Dylan Gabriel to start last night, but Joe Flacco's the leading man, Joe Christ, the leading man for the Browns. But we all know his leash is very, 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 very short. Who you got out of the quarterback wars in Cleveland?
Well, they've already picked the number 1 guy in Joe Flacco. He will be the starter for the season. And I think that's very worthy of that because the other quarterbacks, you know, they haven't shown that they ready to take that over from Joe Christ. So Joe Christ gonna be out there create miracles until he has to sit down. You know what I'm saying? Take a sip of wine and go out there and, you know, do his thing out there, man. Kevin Stefanski believes in him, believes in Joe Christ. Joe Christ gonna lead the Browns to wherever he's gonna lead the Browns. To the toilet, baby, but you'll lead them somewhere. But this is number 3, man, because man, how you got 6 quarterbacks and still don't have a quarterback? Like that doesn't make. You got a quarterback that's making $230 million that ain't gonna see the field. You got Joe Christ out there that's 40 years old. You got Dylan Gabriel that's 5'2". You got Shador Sanders that they said don't belong in the NFL. You got a failed first round pick, Kenny I throw Pickens. You got Tyler Huntley out there that's just out there.
Yo.
Only in Cleveland.
I'm trying to tell you, bro.
Only in Cleveland, man. This is the craziest thing I've seen at the quarterback position ever, bro. Like, this here is crazy. Like, if you are a cast-off quarterback, go out there and try for the Cleveland Browns, man. You got a hell of a chance to get some minutes.
Get my arm ready.
Yeah, that's a fact. I'm going out there. I'm competing. Shit, you know.
I think I got a shot, bro.
Right. I'm taller than Dylan Gabriel.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
I'm faster than Sanders.
Yeah.
Out there.
I'm healthier than
Deshaun
Watson. You know, I'm less of a failure than Kenny Two Gloves.
Yeah.
Tyler Huntley, he's just out there.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
You know, and I'm younger than Joe Flacco, man. Let's get it. By a year, I believe. So let's get it, man. So, I'll go out there and get me a veteran minimum.
A veteran deal, right? Yeah.
You know, but hey, this is a weird situation, man. I've never seen this. That many quarterbacks and still don't have a number one quarterback. And you don't even know if you got a quarterback of the future on the roster with 6 quarterbacks. That is absolutely insane.
You don't have a quarterback of the present or the future. Damn.
You see what I'm saying? Like, that is absolute crazy. This is how Browns fans should be feeling.
Cannot play with him. Cannot win with him. Cannot coach with him. Can't do it.
And I do think that this here will get Stefanski fired. I promise you.
Yeah,
that dude's fired after the season.
I don't think he makes it past this year. Be honest with you. And it really comes back to the Deshaun Watson situation. Is what got them there in the first place. That was just a bad franchise move. And it set this franchise back years now. And they still ain't out of it. You know, now you just chasing. You reaching literally for anything you can get to help, because the problem is overall you don't have a bad team. You don't have a bad roster. It's this right here, the biggest problem, and it's a problem.
You better hope that defense balls out, bro. For you
defense gonna ball out, but it ain't gonna matter. Look, Joe Flacco might get you a couple. That's all he gonna get. Couple. And then when them other boys go in there, man, I don't know what you gonna get. So the quarterback wars, man. I to be honest with you, it needs to be Flacco for the entire season. To be honest with you, because even with Sanders, it's just gonna be more noise, more shit, more storylines. And if you're an NFL team, you don't really want to be on this list. You want it to be quiet. You want it to kind of be under the radar a little bit. You don't want to be making headlines for the wrong reasons. Like I said, any other year, not talking about Cleveland, but this here is unprecedented. 6 quarterbacks, and you don't know what is going to happen with any of them. Speaking of quarterbacks, a very rich quarterback in Cincinnati, and he got some pressure on him too. And to be honest with you, man, number 2 on the list.
Number 2.
Cincinnati Bengals. Cincinnati Bengals. We just talked about Kevin Stefanski. Another seat getting warm in the AFC North is Zach Taylor's. Talked about John Harbaugh earlier. You know, we could put him on the back burner. He do got clout with the Super Bowl. They don't, though, Stefanski and Taylor. So, again, you got the guy, Joe Burrow. You got Chase, who you signed. You got Higgins, who you signed. Everybody got their money, except the best defensive player, Trey Henderson. That's part of it. I could have put that as the title, but even with Trey, and I do think they get it done at some point, which is why I ain't really going crazy with it. Even with Trey, Zach Taylor and Joe Burrow in this offense can't carry this team without nothing from the defense. And they seemingly are all in on offense. And that is why they are the number 2 storyline in the NFL this year. This Bengals team is going to be explosive on both sides of the ball. They're going to get exploded on, on defense, and be explosive on offense. And to me, the focus out of any is going to be Zach Taylor, because Joe Burrow, Chase, and all of them get paid. And if you pay Trey Hendrickson, good. Now he's really on you, because they're like, okay, we even took care of your defensive guy for you. Get over the hump and get past Mahomes, get this team back in the playoffs, back in the hunt. The Bengals have been an underachieving team since that playoff run with Joe Burrow when they went to the Super Bowl. They're going to catch a lot of smoke this year. It's because of how they handled the Henderson situation, and it's because they pay all their offensive players. So people are looking for you to be that team to knock off the Chiefs. Joe Burrow considered top 3, top 5 QB in most people's minds. You know, I say he's probably top 3 behind Jackson and Allen. You know, I would even have him over Pat Mahomes. So, bro, they got to get it done. And if they don't get it done, guess who's out? That man on screen, Zach Taylor. Seat getting warm over there in Cincinnati. Lot of smoke, especially with the Hendrickson situation. But this Bengals team, man, talk to me about this team going into the 2025 season, Pat, man, and what your expectations would be.
I expect them to put up a lot of points, and I expect them to give up a lot of points. I don't expect this team to be as dominant as people think. You're over there in the AFC North, man, and I expect them to do a lot of the same, man. I expect them to do a lot of the same that they have been doing, putting up a lot of points and still losing games 38-42, 45-41. You know, you paid all your offensive people. I'll give you that.
There you go, young blood. Getting paid.
You paid Chase. You paid Higgins. You paid Burrow. But what about this defense, man? Not only did you not get anybody on the defensive side to help you, you're not even taking care of your primary people on the defense. And you lost a couple of people. And that might have been a good thing. Who knows? But I did a video. We did the preview of this team, man. They're gonna be exciting offensively.
They was going back and forth with the rookie. I think they got that one done though, didn't they?
Yeah, they got that. Yeah, they got that done with him.
Yeah, but they was holding out on him. Like,
yeah,
what y'all doing? Don't care about your defense at all.
Yeah, this storyline here, all season long, just like the Browns, all season long.
Yeah.
Because every game that they lose, 35-38, you're going to point right to the defense, and Zach Taylor's going to be up out of there. He's done. If they don't make the playoffs, he's done. And I see a tough road for them to make the playoffs. They got the talent to do it on the offensive side of the ball, no doubt. Yeah. But that defensive side of the ball is just so bad, bro. And they may surprise us. Who knows? But right now, I'm calling them frauds, man. They're still the Bungles to me.
The Bumblebees. Yeah, man. Why don't you care about your defense? Joe, look, man. You can't do but so much on offense without stopping the other team from scoring. Like, then what happens when y'all have a bad offensive game? Because it's going to happen. You probably going to get smoked. You putting too much pressure on Joe Burrow and this offense to outscore every team. Now, is this Zach Taylor's fault? Is this the general manager? Whoever that is, I don't know his name, but because the way this team is built, you literally building a team. We talk about, that team a lot and how they building their squad. The Bengals are not a team built for their division. Think about it, Pat. Think about all those teams that got strong defenses, and every one of those teams in that division got strong defense except them.
Yeah.
Steelers.
Even the Browns got a decent defense.
Browns, Ravens. And they all took care of their star players, except you. So how do you expect to build a defense, Bengals, when you waffling on paying the guys that's there for you, that's been holding it down? You need a foundation there. And now you're giving reputation, a horrible reputation for any defensive player to want to go there. I ain't going there. They only pay their offensive guys. All I'm going there for. We ain't gonna have no good defense. They only focus on the offensive end. In a division where you had historic defenses, like the 2000 Ravens, like the Steel Curtain, the Dog Pound. What the Bengals give you? Yeah. You got to be tired of it if you're a Bengals fan. Iman Perry says they squeezing every last juice out of that first Super Bowl. Yes.
Yep. That's a fact.
Yes. That's what it's been about. But yeah, man. We got one more. No, it's not the Giants. I don't actually think the Giants storyline is that intriguing from an NFL level. And these are storylines these are like negative storylines. I think the Giants it's a little more positive over there for some reason. But we'll get into that. They've been negative in the past fucking every year. Now everybody says hope. Got high hopes. So I put them on the back burner for this segment, but we are going to get into a team in the NFC East. So maybe we can tie the Giants into this here a little bit. And that's where we're going to have to get into the number one storyline going into the 2025 NFL season. Pat, cue it up, bro.
Number 1.
And yes, the number one storyline is that of the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys coming in at number 1. Don't know why it's not showing on the screen, but okay.
Yeah, it's showing on the screen.
You see it?
Yeah.
What the fuck am I not seeing? Oh, there it is. Okay. Bugged out. Computer tweaked out for a minute. But number one storyline, Michael Parsons, Jerry Jones situation. How could this not be, y'all? How could this not be the number one storyline going into the NFL season? For a number of reasons. First of all, you got Cowboys fans. We all know how smug the Cowboys fans are. So, yeah, me as a Giants fan gives me a little bit of just a little They have been kicking the Giants' ass, but a little So, definitely going to put that up there. The other part of this is a big deal if Parsons is not playing, or if he holds out, or even if he just ain't happy and giving 100%. This is huge. This is a huge impact on the NFC East and the NFC, because the Cowboys, you know, for all people talk about them, they are one of those teams that people suspect to contend for a playoff spot at minimum. And you got this going on. And then the part of it of Jerry Jones still being involved. I tell Dallas Cowboy fans, as long as that man's in charge, you will never win again. Because he don't care about winning. He care about drama. So we're giving you the bone. We're giving you a bone here on the Aboriginal Sports Network. And we got you here at number 1, Jerry Jones. That's what you care about. Being a top headline in NFL. America's team. America. You better take care of Marca. If you don't take care of Marca, you're going to be out back. You down there in that area, Pat, man. Talk to me about the Dallas Cowboys, Michael Parsons versus Jerry Jones. This thing's getting a lot of steam, and people seem to think that it's not the same like in recent years, that this thing is legit and it's got legs and it could get ugly. Thoughts?
I think this situation is just Jerry Jones wanting things to be his way. If you go look at that interview with him and Stephen A. Smith, Jerry Jones is a guy. He wants his way. And the hiccup is that Michael Parsons wants to involve his agent in the deal. If you don't know, Jerry Jones is the GM over there with the Cowboys, and the way he constructs his deals is he deals with the player. It's him and the player. And I think that that's just him being in a way that where if he wants the advantage in the situation, he can be in the advantage. Because Michael Parsons is only 25 years old, as great as a player he is, and I do believe that dude is very smart. You're in a negotiation situation with Jerry Jones, man. Come on, bro. This dude's a freaking billionaire. He knows how to construct deals to where he may make it look like you're both winning, but in the end, he wins. And I'm not saying that's his intentions, because I think he's done right by a lot of players. I think he's done right by Dak Prescott. I think he's done right by Emmitt Smith, Michael Irvin, Deion Sanders. but he's negotiated all those deals that way, and he's not taking any shit per se, as he said on that Stephen A. Smith video. I'm not taking any shit from you. This is how things are done over here with the Cowboys, and we're gonna get it done. And guess what? He has the trump card. He has Micah Parsons' name on a contract for 3 more years. This year, and he can franchise him twice. And what he's saying is true, that those 2 franchise tags are nothing compared to the money that I'm getting ready to try to give you. Who knows what's going on in that situation? But you got to look at it at Micah Parsons' side too. I'm 25 years old. What the fuck am I doing in that room with a businessman of your caliber?
Mm-hmm.
You've been doing this for pretty much your whole life. You see what I'm saying? You're an oil baron and you're the owner of the Cowboys. You are worth estimated almost $20 billion, bro. Hell yeah, I'm gonna want somebody in there that's supposed to know what they're doing in that room with me, with you, bro.
Damn right.
I don't know what kind of, shenanigans you could pull in that room, bro. You've been doing contracts for 30 years, bro. I'm a young man. This is my first major contract, and I don't want to get my pants taken down by you. Let's just keep it a buck. You know what I'm saying? Most of the contracts you did with grown men, and back in the day when situations weren't as tedious as it is now. We're talking, Parsons may be talking about $45 to $46 million a year. But there's a way you can structure that contract where I only see maybe 10% of that. You know what I'm saying? Of that almost $300 million deal. Because the way you structure the contract, you can structure it in a way that if I do something that I didn't know that was part of the contract, that voids the contract, you can get out of it. Think about this, man. Those contracts, yeah, they show them signing one piece of paper, but those contracts are super thick. In language
right,
that you have no clue what's going on about. As smart as I think Micah Parsons is, I think that is a smart man. There's a difference between being smart and being full of language in these contracts. This is business. Jerry Jones is not your friend in that business situation, bro. I don't care what Jerry Jones says. He might love those players to death. But in the end, when you hear him and you feel the energy off him when he said, I got Micah Parsons for 3 years. That's ownership. He owns you.
Ownership, right.
Every player on that field, he owns in his mind. And it's true because they signed the contract. It's paperwork. This world is ruled by paperwork. When you sign your name on that dotted line, guess what? The owner owns you. And so if I'm going to sign my name on a dotted line, I got to know what's going on. And I know he's smart enough to know that I can't mess with Jerry Jones in a situation like that because the dude's been doing it for 40 plus years. But go ahead. I didn't mean to take up that much time, but people gotta know
man,
that situation.
I'm listening, man. I'm like, hell yeah, because you right, bro. You right. Why would I, as an athlete, as a businessman, walk into a meeting not knowing what's going on? I'm gonna bring somebody with me, of course. This is why they have agents, because contracts, bro. The contracts, bro, are like thick.
Yeah,
like thick with pages. So it ain't just a piece of flimsy paper that you just sign it and you read in 5 minutes. Nah, you got to decipher that motherfucker. So this Cowboys team, though, they are going to not only have drama with Michael Parsons, but you got Dak Prescott coming back from an injury, and you have a brand new head coach walking into this situation.
Mm-hmm.
Brian Schottenheimer, they ain't doing him no favors. And in your division, you have the defending champs, the runners up in the NFC, and a New York Giants team that's right on your ass as far as talent and everything is concerned. So yeah, you back yourself into a corner, and that's just what Cowboys fans been so frustrated about.
Yep.
It's because this guy Jerry Jones isn't about winning. He's about the headlines. That's why he is the number one headline in the NFL going into the 2025 season. Because that's what he wants.
Man, he just went on a whole PR campaign about that Dallas Cowboys Netflix special, bro. That's what it's about. He was doing PR like a movie star. I mean, that's the way he wants it to be. And guess what? He's flipping it into his favor with the whole Michael Parsons situation. He's doing his own PR. That's the reason why you have to have people in that room with you with Jerry Jones. This dude's a freaking master, bro. Like, if you want to call him a warlock or whatever you want to call him, bro, he's a master at these situations, bro. Think about this. The Cowboys haven't been to an NFC Championship game in 30 years, and they're still the most talked about team in
the
sports.
Most valuable team. Yeah.
And the most valuable team in sports. Not just the NFL, in sports. That's how much of a master he is at promotion, at turning things into his favor. And you think I want to be in a room with him with a contract by myself?
Nah.
Think about that feeling. Think about that energy in that room with that dude. No, I don't fear him of beat me up or anything, but I do fear him of being able to take advantage of me with this paper that he's trying to get me to sign.
Yeah.
That's a real thing. Whether you want to believe it or not, that dude can, with that paperwork, he can make you whatever he wants you to be. So it's real. It's way deeper than what you think. And I don't blame Michael Parsons. I am too young to be in a room with the 80-year-old master warlock.
Right. Like, what are we doing here? You see what I'm saying? What are we doing here? But bro, that is the number one storyline of the NFL season. And to be honest with you, you know, I don't trust the Giants, but Cowboys could finish last in this division. I'm just gonna put it out there. They could finish last in the NFC East. If that Giants team catches a little bit of a spark, y'all gonna be last. Because you ain't beating Philly and you ain't better than Washington. Your only hope to stay out the basement is the New York Giants. That second game of the season is going to be a big one. And they better hope Michael Parsons is available for that game. Otherwise, you probably going to get your ass kicked. I ain't going to hold you. Because your only saving grace to beat that Giants team is with your defense and shutting down, you know, the Giants' pitter-pattering offense. But without that defense and that stud right there, I don't think they win that game. I'm sorry. So you better get your act together quick. And then Parsons ain't been around. He ain't been in camp, nothing like this. So he ain't really been training with the team like that. Now you got the Russ factor. What happens with Russ comes possible of injury. Y'all just mishandled this thing completely. Like, this is... If anybody on the Dallas Cowboys that should be paid, it should be Michael Parsons. I'm sorry. I want to pay Dak Prescott all the fucking money. CeeDee Lamb, yeah. But outside of him, it's Parsons, bro. It's fucking Parsons. I wouldn't have gave Diggs all that money. It's Parsons, bro. And you waffling.
Yeah, man. And I think he is that important to him, and that's why Jerry is, playing the hardball that he wants. He wants Michael Parsons locked up for life, like he has Emmitt Smith, like he has Michael Irvin, Deion Sanders to a certain extent. Deion Sanders has a little bit more terms than what Michael Irvin and them had, like he has Troy Aikman, Tony Romo. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Terrell Owens bucked the system a little bit, and that's why he got him out of there. Like, these dudes are connected to Jerry Jones for life. I'm telling you. And maybe they want it to be. Who knows? But I know Emmitt Smith is connected to this man for life. Whatever contracts he signed with this man, because it's not just a football contract that these dudes have signed with Jerry Jones. You can look at the energy of that dude and knows that he has full control. Whether they like it or not. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that he did something wrong to those guys. It's just, when it comes to a businessman, that dude Jerry Jones is up there in the ranks.
Yeah.
I promise you that dude is up there.
Yeah.
Don't shit happen in the NFL without that man's consent. I promise you it don't. And a man that powerful, there's no way I'm not having a team with me in the room with him. I'm sorry. And it's not a fear of physical, it's a fear of mental. And that's just what it is.
Yeah, man. But yeah, that's it, man. That's the top 10. We're gonna hit another commercial break, and then we're gonna come back with some NFL trivia, man. I got some trivia questions queued up. If you're in the chat, y'all can play along. Then we're gonna open up the panel as well for the last half hour of the show. So trivia, practice squad call-ups coming right at you. But before we do that, shout out to the NFL on ABSN. This is the show you watching.
Facts.
The show you watching. NFL on ABSN. I'm gonna hit this beautiful intro / commercial from my bro, man, and we're gonna take a quick commercial break. I really need to get a break. Gotta get out of this chair for a second. So we'll be right back. We're gonna come back with trivia. And so get your think caps on, folks. Coming right back at you. Let's hit it. All right, man. We're gonna come back. We are back here now. We're gonna get into a little trivia, y'all. We're gonna get into a little trivia here. You know, I like playing these trivia games. We're gonna have trivia themed, basically questions about week ones in the NFL. Because we going into week one, man. We going into week one, man. Salute to the chat. Salute to Pablo. Peace, man. Hope you guys are enjoying the show. This is our new morning show. Of course, this show will premiere before the NFL action during the season. We're still working on getting everything ironed out. So got a little bit late start today, but look for this show 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central throughout the season. It's going to be me, Big Pat. We'll probably have appearances by Ghost Dog on there, as well as Coach Ed and the whole Aboriginal Sports Network crew. So, that being said, let's play a little trivia game. Then we'll open it up if you guys want to talk. If you don't, then you will get on up out of here. But that's how these shows are going to rock. So let's get into the trivia right now, Pat, man. I'm going to cue up this little intro I got, and we're going to get into it. All right. So, first question up, man. First question up. Which season had the highest scoring week one and total points ever? So, the season that had the most points scored in a week one ever. Was it A, the 1954 season? B, the 2002 season? C, the 2012 season? Or D, 2024?
Oh, wow.
What you thinking, man? Chat, what y'all thinking? Season with the highest scoring in week one and total points ever.
Wasn't it a bunch of high score games last year in that first week? I'm gonna go D.
It wasn't D, but it was a lot of high scoring games last year. But that ain't the answer. Don't y'all be Googling over there. Boss Les.
I'm already wrong.
Boss Les got it. It is C. It is C. It is 2012. 791 points was put up in 2012 in week one, setting an all-time record. Yeah, man, it was
scores that first week. Yeah, I think it's only 6 games.
Yeah. All right, so next one I got is not going to be multiple choice, but there is a hint in the question. So, going back to the 70s, which player, because see, I know y'all like to Google and shit, that's why I make them a little harder. I'm going to make them harder and harder for y'all. Which player rushed for a week one record of 250 yards? Think about it, 70s. Running back. Which running back, going back to the 70s, rushed for a week run record of 250 yards?
It's got to be Jim Brown, man.
I was going to say, I didn't make this like a little hidden one for you. It's a player you guys know. So, who y'all got?
Ooh, O.J. Simpson, too. I forgot about the juice. It's between Jim Brown and O.J. Simpson. More than likely it's O.J. It's the 70s because Jim Brown was in the 60s.
And it is O.J. Simpson. Yeah. O.J. Simpson rushed for 250 yards in week one in 1973. All right. Number 3. Which player had the most receiving yards in a week 1 game ever in the Super Bowl era. Most receiving yards in week 1 ever in the Super Bowl era.
Anquan Bolden.
Anquan Bolden is correct.
Yeah,
Anquan
Bolden.
Bolden. 217 yards were the most in a week 1 game in the Super Bowl era. Tyreek Hill had 215 in a game, I think, a couple years ago. All right. Multiple choice. Some multiple choice. Some not multiple choice. How we gonna do trivia now? I got it.
Shout out to Boss Les. He got the last right.
I gotta throw y'all, because people like Boss Les. You know, I gotta throw y'all off. All right. 2024. What unique week 1 scoring phenomenon occurred for the first time since 1988? Think about it. Scoring phenomenon. This was last year. I ain't make it like in the 70s for y'all. What happened last year? That was a unique score for the first time since 1989. Think about it. 89, bro. The hint is in the question. You give up?
I give up, bro. I don't know.
All right. Boss Les hasn't answered yet. Guess his Google's down. But all right. There were more rushing touchdowns than passing touchdowns. What? During week 1 for the first time since 1989. Why is that significant? I had to put that one in there because I believe the NFL is going back to the running game.
Yep, that's a fact.
So last year was the first year since 1989. That's why I said 89. Think about it. What was they doing in 89? Scoring more rushing touchdowns than passing touchdowns in the 80s. All right. Which NFL team holds the record for most week 1 wins? The most week 1 wins by an NFL team in NFL history.
I'm going to Green Bay
won the
Packers.
most games in a week 1. I'm
going to Green Bay Packers.
Green Bay Packers, you got that one. Green Bay Packers, they have the most week 1 wins with 51. And if you think about it, they're the oldest team. So only makes sense. See, it ain't that hard. I throw Cowboys out there and shit like that. Oh, this is Cowboys. Nah, it's Packers. Packers are one of those foundational teams that have a lot of records just because they've been around for so fucking long.
Yeah.
Giants do too. So do the Bears. There's a couple of other teams, but all right. Here's an interesting one. Read this question carefully. Which game produced the only no punt game in a week 1? Was it 1989 Bills versus Dolphins? 1992 Bills versus 49ers? 1998 Cowboys versus Packers? 2007 Patriots versus Colts? Who you got?
That Patriots-Colts game.
Patriots, Colts, D. Boss Bless says, oh, he's answering the last one. Okay, Packers. You said D, Patriots versus Colts. Now, no punt basically means they didn't punt, obviously, throughout the game, and there was a lot of points scored. But you are off. It's actually D.
Oh, okay. Bills versus 49ers. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about that
game,
AFC Championship game.
That game. That's why I said week 1. So that game played on September 13th in 1992. The Bills winning that game 34-31. Neither team punted in that game. And that would go on to be like a kind of one of those games where, it was, you had Steve Young, Jim Kelly, like they were Andre Reed, Jerry Rice, Thurman Thomas, Bruce Smith. Yeah, no punts in that game. No punts in that game. There have been other games with no punts, and that Colts game was not one of them. So you had the 2014, the Packers defeated the Bears 38-17. In week 8 of the same season, the Saints beat the Packers 44-23. In week 4 of the 2001 season, the Kansas City Chiefs beat the Eagles 42-30, no punts. And week 13 of the 2003 season, Dallas defeated the Seattle Seahawks 41-35 with no punts. The Washington Commanders and the Bengals last year in week 3, 38-33, no punts or turnovers from either team. First time since 1940. Pay attention, that might be on a future trivia question. And in the same season, the Lions beat the 49ers 40-34 in a game that featured 10 touchdowns and no punts. So a lot of these were recent, but the one that happened during week 1 was Bills 49ers. All right, man. Rams versus Chiefs don't think was a first week 1 game. Bills versus 49ers. All right, now let's see here. Last one, y'all. Last one. What is the largest margin of victory ever recorded in a week 1 game in the Super Bowl era? A, 52 points. B, 55 points. C, 63 points. Or D, 48 points. Largest margin of victory ever recorded in a week 1 game. Remember, it's all week 1 stuff in the Super Bowl era.
I'm going to go B, 55 points.
55 points. Les says 52 points. The answer is B. Pat is correct. B, 55 points. Atlanta beat New Orleans in 73. 62-7. God damn.
Got they ass bust.
62-7. In the first week of the season. Y'all should pack season up.
Right.
Was that the season where the Saints put bags over their heads? Talk about
That's when they started.
Yeah. Beat down like this would definitely do it. Beat down like this will definitely do it. But yeah, thanks for playing, man. NFL trivia. I'm gonna be bringing these throughout the season for you guys and ladies and gentlemen. I have different themes. I hope to get some people up here to play. That's the kind of the point of it. And so that way, if you're playing, I can actually give out a prize, for the player, the person that does the best. So that's my goal. So we teasing it here up now, but y'all tap into NFL trivia, man. Get some knowledge. New Orleans getting their ass whooped. They about to get their ass whooped again this season. So,
yeah, the bags are coming back out this season.
Bags are coming back out, man.
Shout out to the participants, man. Participation is key.
Yeah, man. Definitely appreciate y'all. But yeah, man. Practice squad call up time. Any questions? are things you guys would like to ask, this is the time for you to come on up here and shout. Give us a shout out. Talk to us. Yeah, that's how we do it though. But man, yeah, I love trivia, man. I love setting it up, man. You know, it's a fun thing, man. But we're getting into the practice squad call ups, man. So y'all come on up here, man, and holla. But while we wait on the call ups, man, what are you looking forward to most this year, Pat, man? I mean, I know we Giants fans, and you know we're gonna be talking about the Giants and talking about every team in the NFL. But is there any one thing in particular that you looking forward to the most this year, just from an NFL standpoint?
That battle in the AFC West. That battle in the AFC West with the Chiefs, Broncos, and Chargers. Can the Broncos or the Chargers dethrone the Chiefs in the AFC West? Because that's the first step, probably the main step in order to dethrone the Chiefs. Well, that's the first step. The main step is beating them in the playoffs. But that division battle over there in the AFC West is going to be dope. I think the Chargers are a very good running team, and they're a very good established team with Jim Harbaugh, the other Harbaugh head coach. I think they got something going over there. And the Broncos with Sean Payton and Bo Nix, I think they have a relationship that's going to last for a pretty good long time over there with the Broncos. And he's just getting more confident. The more you see Bo Nix play, he's getting more and more confident, man. So the Chiefs going to have a battle on their hands this year. Let's see if the Chiefs come out angry and, reestablish dominance. It's not like they didn't have dominance last year. They went 15-2. But, it's time to reestablish the Chief over there in Arrowhead. So we're going to see, man. But that AFC West is the division I am looking at because I think there's going to be some fireworks over there. For real.
Mm-hmm. So for me, yeah, for me, bro, it's really I'm paying attention to some of these rookies. Of course, you got Dart and Abdul Carter with the Giants. Of course, you got Cam Ward in Tennessee. I'm gonna be watching him. Be watching Sanders and Gabriel over there in Cleveland. Of course, we talked about it. Also, I want to see what Travis Hunter does in Jacksonville. There's a lot of young players coming into this league. Also, looking at some of the second-year quarterbacks like Caleb Williams and Drake May to take the next step with the Bears and the Patriots, because those are two teams that a lot of analysts are high on because of Caleb Williams and Drake May, two out of the top three quarterbacks taken last year. Of course, with Jaden Daniels being the second in the middle between those two. So look for Drake May and Caleb Williams to take that next step. Show up, show out. Team-wise, I'm really paying attention to Philadelphia because Philly going under the radar a little bit, but do anybody think this team going to repeat? Does anybody think the Eagles going to repeat? Because we look at the Eagles roster, and most people in the NFL saying the Eagles are a dominant team. Like, everybody talking about the Eagles this, the Eagles that. It's hard to repeat in the NFL. I'm paying attention because if it ain't the Eagles, that means it's gonna be somebody else. And I don't think they can repeat. Starting off with AJ Brown injury, first of all. Second of all, you got fat pockets. You know, they all paid over there. They not as hungry as they used to be. And honestly, your division got better. We've been talking about the Giants. The Commanders got better. Dallas is all over the place, but when they focus, they're a good team. So, yeah, I'm paying attention to the champs. How can you not? I'm not going to let them go under the radar. Fuck that. Y'all won a Super Bowl. Y'all been bragging. Eagles get shakeups. Okay, you won. What you going to do this year? Philadelphia? So I'm looking for that too. Paying attention to the Eagles, paying attention to the Giants, paying attention to the whole NFC East. A lot going on in that division too, and especially with Philadelphia because you won. Ain't no pressure on none of the other teams. Except maybe Dallas, they put pressure on themselves. But ain't no pressure on the Giants, ain't no pressure on the Washington Commanders to win anything. It's on y'all. You the champs. So go out there. You got the Cowboys week 1. Who knows if the Michael Parsons thing gonna be resolved? So go out there, do what you gotta do. Because if you go out there week 1 and you lose to Dallas, especially without AJ Brown, things are gonna start to shift from you being the favorites to maybe there's some concerns over there. We watch the games. We know how important AJ Brown is to that squad. And I also watch football year in and year out, and I know how teams that win a Super Bowl tend to be laxed the next year. Not as hungry. That's why it's hard to go back to back. I'm just saying, bro. That Eagles team, somehow, it's 2 anomalies this year going into the NFL season. And I'm going to point them out to y'all. Then maybe we can get on out of here in a little bit. Season ain't popping yet. Maybe we'll get some call-ups during the season. I'm sure we will. 2 anomalies for this year. One is the number 1 pick, Cam Ward, is somehow flying under the radar. He wasn't in this list of top storylines. That never happens, really, bro. The number 1 pick is always talked about. It was last year with Caleb Williams. That's the first one. The second one is a Super Bowl champion somehow going under the radar. The Eagles wasn't on this list. Ain't nobody really talking about them. So again, don't let them start talking about you. So again, my main thing is I'm watching these rookies and these young players, rookies and second-year players. I'm paying attention a lot to those players. And I'm just watching how these so-called favorites, Kansas City, Philadelphia. I don't know if they can get back there, but that's the expectation. Favorite AFC, favorite NFC. Philadelphia, Kansas City. We both know chance of that happening again is probably slim. So I'm looking to see how this thing unfolds, and if Philly is really like that, and if Kansas City is going to come back to the pack. That's what I got, bro. Yeah, man, we can go ahead and wrap this thing up. We're right here at the 3-hour mark. So, dope show though, bro. Dope show. Any last words you got to say? Anything we need to clean up? How do we do today? how did you like the show?
Yeah, I think the show is dope. I think we're gonna have a lot of fun going into this NFL season, doing the NFL on ABSN in the mornings, getting you ready for that day's afternoon games, man. It's gonna be dope, man. The trivia is dope. You know, we're gonna have Big Pat's game plan. That's gonna be entering into the show. We got a lot more things coming up for you, man. So if you think these shows are dope, wait till we get to the main thing. We're gonna bring you guys the heat, man. We're gonna have trivia, on the money out of pocket, Big Pat's game plan, you know, fantasy dogs with Ghost Dog. You know, we're gonna be talking about the previous week's games, that week's games. And it's just gonna be action-packed, man, and it's gonna be the best NFL morning show before you get into watching your team's game. So no matter what team you root for, you come right here to the NFL ABSN and get your news, because more than likely we're gonna be talking about your team anyway. It is what it is, man.
Yeah, man. But yeah, man, that is it. That's all we got for today. Appreciate y'all tapping in. I gotta run, gotta get ready for this fantasy draft. So we're gonna get on up out of here, man. Bro, you know what to do, man. Take us out with the outro, man. We up out of this joint, man.
Peace.
It's time. Peace.